This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
The Houston Astros faced the Texas Rangers for a spring training game at Driller Park in Tulsa, Oklahoma on April 2nd, 1978. Houston was a perennial 500 team, managed by Bill Verdon in his fourth year with the Astros. Texas was looking to improve upon its surprising 1977 season when it finished with 94 wins despite churning through 4 managers. They finally settled on Billy Hunter, who led the Rangers to a 60-33 run to finish the 1977 season. This audio recording is from the Rangers radio broadcast featuring announcers Bill Merrill and John Miller.
The best pitcher in baseball right now, and that includes Johnny Bench.
Today we're in Oklahoma, but here at Driller Park in Tulsa, it's all Texas. The Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Texas Rangers baseball. Bill Merrill, John Miller, and today for the final time in springtime 1978. The Rangers with the Astros barnstorming their ways back to Texas, playing Friday night in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with Texas winning that one 7-5. Playing yesterday in Little Rock, Arkansas, with Houston coming out on top 8-1. Today in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tomorrow they'll be in San Antonio. But for us, the final radio broadcast of the springtime. We'll next see you on opening day next Saturday when the Rangers started off against the New York Yankees. Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas. Monday and Tuesday are Ranger Fever Nights at the Sunset, 3608 South Cooper, Arlington. The Sunset.
Today we're going to get a look at a couple of rotation pitchers for each of these ball clubs. Doc Ellis will be going for the Texas Rangers, his final outing of the springtime, as it looks like, well, he might get a little bit more work on Wednesday against the University of Texas, depending on when they use him over the weekend. Otherwise, this would be his final major tune-up, and he'll be opposed by Phil Niekro, the knuckleballer, the younger brother. Well, I said Phil Niekro, didn't I? Joe Niekro, the younger brother of Phil. They both throw the knuckleball, and they both have the same last name, and in fact, last year, they both threw the knuckleball with about equal effectiveness, as Joe had the best year of his career. As I said, just all of a sudden, he learned how to control the knuckler, and in the springtime of 1978, according to his manager, Bill Verdon, he's been getting hitters out more easily, more consistently than Verdon can recall in the recent past. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups for the ball game today when we continue in 60 seconds.
Boy, you feel proud when you got a truck. You know it's really built to stay tough. It's a riding high feeling all the way in a Stay Tough truck. Stay Tough truck from Chevrolet.
Tough trucks for tough customers like you. Chevy fleet-side pickups, tough in the right places. Built with double steel walls in vital areas. Massive girder beam front suspension on two-wheel drive models. Brake systems computer matched to the GVW of the truck you order. And for the first time, diesel power is available in C10 Chevy pickups. Tough 78 Chevy trucks. See them at your Chevy dealers right now.
Boy, you feel proud when you got a truck. You know it's really built to stay tough. It's a riding high feeling all the way in a Stay Tough truck. Stay Tough truck from Chevrolet.
The Texas Rangers come into the ball game today with a springtime record of 13 wins and 8 defeats. The Houston Astros come in 9 wins and 10 losses, and they have split, as we mentioned, the 2 ball games played against each other the last couple of nights. The starting lineup for the Houston Astros, which is being administered at the home plate area right now by manager Bill Verdon, who's there with Billy Hunter of the Rangers and the umpires for the ball game. For Houston, Terry Poole will lead off in center field. He'll probably begin the season, though, in left field. Today, in center. At third base, batting second, Enos Cabell. Hitting third and acting as the designated hitter, Cesar Cedeno. Cesar has had chronic knee problems. He has said that the knee has been hurting him the last 3 or 4 days, and he has played this entire series as the designated hitter. Hitting cleanup in right field, Jose Cruz. Batting fifth at first base, the man to be named later, Dave Bergman, formerly in the Yankee organization, part of the deal that sent Cliff Johnson to New York. Bergman batting fifth. In left field, batting sixth, Dennis Walling, acquired from the Oakland A's by Texas by Houston in spring training of last year. At second base, Batting 7th, Art Howe. He'll be the opening day second baseman for the Astros. The catcher, batting 8th, Ed Herman, former American leaguer. And at shortstop, batting 9th, Jimmy Sexton. He and Roger Metzger in a battle for that opening day assignment, although Metzger, the veteran, probably has the inside track. Pitching for the Astros today will be Joe Niekro. He was 13-8 last year. Got fired down the stretch, won 10 of his last 13 decisions. For the Texas Rangers now, at first base, leading off, Mike Hargrove. A few minutes after Bill taped the pregame interview with him, he was taking some infield grounders hit by Coach Pat Corrales. And the infield is a bit rough here. The ball took a high hop and hit him right in the face, just below the left eye. And he immediately fell to the ground, and everything stopped all of a sudden, as well you might guess. Everybody ran to his side to see how he was. He was just a little bit stunned, and he will be playing the ball game. And he says it smarts a little bit when you put your finger to it just under the left eye, but there is no noticeable bruise there. That is good news. The infield, however, is a bit treacherous. Toby Harrah is at third base. In left field, batting third, Al Oliver. The designated hitter today is John Lowenstein, as Richie Zisk came up sick just a while before game time. Hitting fifth in right field, Claudell Washington. In center field, Juan Benitez, who was muscling up in batting practice. He lost about 8 or 9 balls over the left field barrier today. At second base, Bump Wills, batting 7th. At shortstop, Bert Campy Campaneris. And the catcher, the team's most valuable player last year, is voted by the Dallas-Fort Worth baseball writers, Jim Sundberg. And on the mound, taking his warm-ups now, is Doc Ellis. Doc, whom we had on the radio pregame show yesterday, making his 5th appearance. He's 1-1, lost none with a 3.0 earned run average. And right now, here's the playing of our national anthem. Today in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and despite the inclement weather and the forecasts for the same, the crowd today is pretty good. Doc Ellis, as we started to mention, taking his warm-ups now. Doc has had a very good springtime, and he has been a joy to be around all spring long for the Texas Rangers. He has led the charge onto the field for all of the laps that the pitchers run every day during the springtime. Although Doc told us yesterday, he says, I'm the first out there. I lead everybody out to take their laps, but I'm the last one to take it. Doc Ellis on the mound. Jim Sundberg is the catcher. Mike Hargrove at first base. Bump Wills at second base. Campy Campaneris at short. Toby Harrah at third. The outfield is Al Oliver, Juan Benitez, and Claudell Washington from left to right. The umpiring alignment for the ball game today from the National League, Joe West, back of home plate. He's the man who gave Toby Harrah the heave-ho yesterday in a very strange situation. Al Clark of the American League at first base. National Leaguer Eric Gregg at second. And American Leaguer Durwood Merrill is at third base. Terry Poole, left-handed swinger to start it off for the Astros. 278 hitter in the springtime, and he swings at Ellis' first offering and foul tips it 0-1. Driller Park measures 330 down each foul line, 370 to the power alleys in left and right center, and 390 to dead straightaway center. One strike pitch, curve, swinging strike 2. Outfield plays Poole around toward right. It's a big fence with advertisements all over the wooden structures. 2-strike pitch, curve, got him looking. Doc put a curveball over the outside corner at the knees and gets him on 3 pitches. 1 gone, and that'll bring up Enos Cabell. Ellis has pitched in 15 innings, has allowed 22 base hits, but only 7 runs, and 5 of those earned, 5 walks, and 7 strikeouts. His last outing was Wednesday at West Palm Beach, Florida, against the Atlanta Braves. Here's the pitch to the big right-handed swinger, Cabell, a slider, swinging strike, it's 0-1. So Doc has thrown 4 pitches, all for strikes. Outfield is deep for Cabell. Fastball, chopper, third base side. Toby Harrod charges, fields, throws, and has him at first. So 5 pitches and 2 men gone, and Doc has thrown 5 strikes, and that brings up Cesar Cedeno. Cedeno hitting .350 for the spring, and he's had a good couple of ball games against the Texas Rangers. He had a couple of hits Friday night in Baton Rouge, and he had a couple of hits yesterday against Texas. Left the ball game yesterday in the 8th inning. When sliding into third, he claimed that his knee was hurting him again. He swings, lines one, third base line, fair ball, heading down into the left field corner. Oliver over to cut it off, but Cesar Cedeno will lope easily into second base with a stand-up double. Cedeno went after the first pitch and shot it right down the third base line and into the left field corner. So with 2 outs, the Astros get their first base hit and a chance to get the game's first run as cleanup batter Jose Cruz will stand in.
Right fielder.
Cruz has had a fine springtime, hitting .371 for the Astros. He hit .299 last year with 17 home runs, so he can hit. Left-handed swinger, curve in the dirt. Sundberg blocks it on the inside, ball 1. That's the first pitch that Doc has thrown out of the strike zone. Texas players, or the Houston players, are really unhappy about the barnstorming aspect of the concluding portion of spring training. Ellis throws low, ball 2. In fact, the Texas players aren't too wild about it, but it's especially difficult for Houston because the Astros, after spending all of this time on the road with 1-night, 1-day stands, will then head off after an exhibition Wednesday to open up the season in Cincinnati on Thursday. Ellis hits the outside corner with a strike, 2-1. Tomorrow, the 2 teams will play in San Antonio. Tuesday, they'll be in the Astrodome for a doubleheader. Both clubs will face a college team in each end of the doubleheader. Then Wednesday, Texas plays in Austin against the University of Texas, while Houston goes up to College Station to meet Texas A&M. Here's a swing and a drive down the right field line, but it's curving foul into the corner. So the count to Cruz, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, runner at second. We're in the top of the first, just underway from Tulsa, Oklahoma. But the Texas Rangers, after playing in Austin on Wednesday, will then return to the Metroplex area and have 2 days off before they open the season on Saturday against the Yankees. But the Astros, after playing Wednesday in College Station, will then take a plane to Cincinnati and open up the very next afternoon against the Reds. 2-2 pitch. Fastball sprayed down the left field line, but it's also hooking foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Dave Bergman. He'd get a chance to swing here if Cruz can keep it alive. Astros are missing 2 of their bigger hitters today, both sent back to Houston yesterday for x-rays. Catcher Joe Ferguson and Bob Watson. Fastball tails away from the left-handed swinger. The count goes full, 3-2. Ferguson injured himself Friday night in Baton Rouge going after a wild pitch. He slid into the backstop. Bob Watson was injured in the first inning of the ball game Friday. Ellis delivers a fastball inside and high. He misses, ball 4. First walk of the day by Doc, and so the Astros now have something going with 2 down, runners at first and second, and Dave Bergman. Bergman having a miserable time in the spring, 166 average. Even though Terry Poole appeared the heir apparent for left field to start the season, after a very fine half a year last year, they decided to give Bergman a shot at it, but Poole has won that job out and out. Curve misses outside, ball 1. as Poole has had a pretty good spring, and Dave Bergman is only 6 for 36. Does have 2 home runs out of those 6 hits. Big, good-looking left-handed swinger. Fastball hits foul at the plate. Back to the screen. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Bergman played in Syracuse last year, AAA ball, the International League at the Yankees Farm Club. He had a .312 batting average with 16 home runs and stole 29 bases. Pretty good credentials for the International League. 1-1 pitch, high curve, misses wide, 2 balls and a strike. No wonder they gave him a shot. Astros have a lot of speed, and they rely on that speed because they do not have a whole lot of power. Ellis into the stretch, runners with their leads, 2-1 delivery. Curve on the outside corner for strike 2. Good pitch to a left-handed hitter as Doc put the ball outside as though it were going to miss outside, and then the ball curled in over the outside corner at the last moment. 2-2. Ellis at the belt. Fastball outside. 3-2. So 2 gone here in the first. The runners will be moving with this one. Cedeno at second. He got a double with 2 down. Jose Cruz at first. Both of them can fly. Ellis at the belt. The runners go. The pitch. Curve low. He walked him. So Cedeno lopes into third base. Cruz goes over to second. And so now with 2 outs, the Astros have him loaded. And that'll bring up Dennis Walling. Jim Sundberg is out to talk to Doc Ellis here. Walling was acquired from the Oakland A's last June, actually, in exchange for Willie Crawford. He had been the A's #1 pick in the June 1975 free agent draft. Played last year mostly in Charleston with a .348 batting average. And in 6 games for the Astros at the end of the season at .286. Left-handed swinger, bases are loaded. Runners lead, Ellis for the windup. Misses outside with a curveball. 1 ball, no strikes. He got Terry Poole on 3 pitches on a called third strike. Cabell grounded out, but then Cedeno doubled and Cruz and Bergman have walked. Here's the pitch, bouncer up the middle, fielded by Campaneris at second. He shovels it underhand to Bump Wills, covering at second for the force out on Bergman, and the Rangers are out of trouble in inning #1. For the Astros, no runs, 1 hit, and 3 men left on the base paths. We go to the last of the first. Houston, nothing. Texas coming up.
Boy, it's really exciting being here at the Indy 500. What do they call this place?
The cafeteria.
Really?
You new here?
How can you tell?
You're wearing your racing helmet.
I'm practicing.
During lunch?
Practice makes perfect. Would you pass the salt?
Sure. So what are you driving this year?
What do you think of that?
You're driving a piece of paper?
That's my Champion Indy 500 sweepstakes entry form.
Oh.
You can eat that roll.
Eventually.
Oh. Well, Champion has won at Indy 38 times, and this year they're giving me the chance to win with the winner. To be eligible, all I do is pick a winner and fill out the entry form.
I noticed you filled it out in crayon.
Mom won't let me have any sharp objects.
Put down that spoon, okay?
For the first time in the history of the Indy 500, you have a chance to share in the excitement of winning at Indy. Champion's Indy 500 sweepstakes. Anyone who is 16 or older is eligible to win prizes totaling $250,000 with a first prize of $25,000. No purchase necessary. Details and entry forms at participating Champion spark plug retailers. Offer void where prohibited by law.
Joe Niekro, right-hander on the mound to pitch for the Houston Astros. Setting the Astros defensively. Niekro on the mound. Ed Herman, the catcher. At first base, Dave Bergman. Art Howe at second base. Jimmy Sexton at shortstop. Enos Cabell at third. The outfield, from left to right, Dennis Walling, Terry Poole, and Jose Cruz. Niekro, a veteran from Martins Ferry, Ohio. And he is now 33 years of age. As we mentioned, the younger brother of Atlanta's Phil Niekro. Last year, all of a sudden, things started going right for him. He won 13, he lost 8, and his earned run average was 3.03. That was 9th best in the National League. Started the season last year as the long reliever. Then was, in June, moved into the short relief spot when Ken Forsch was injured. He won 2 and saved 2 there in about 2 weeks. And then in late July, he became a starter and finished up 9 wins and 5 losses as a starter. 44 games overall, and in his 14 games as a starter, he had 9 complete games. In 181 innings, he allowed only 155 hits. So all the way down the line, his statistics were very impressive, and he credits it to just being able to master the knuckleball. Mike Hargrove steps in. There's the knuckler outside, ball one. In the American League, outside of Wilbur Wood, you really don't have a guy who throws a knuckleball with regularity. Outside, ball two, 2-0. If Wilbur Wood is able to make a comeback this year, that's going to be good news for the White Sox. Bad news for guys who have trouble with the knuckleball. Here's the windup and the 2-0 pitch. Down the middle for a strike, and it's 2-1. Ed Herman, the backup catcher, catching today with Ferguson back in Houston with the injury. Herman probably thought he was all through with the knuckleball after leaving the White Sox, but here he is again. 2-1 pitch. Dips over the inside corner for strike two. 2-2. Hargrove hitting .255 in spring training. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. 2-2 pitch. Misses high. 3-2. Hargrove has walked 10 times this year. Toby Harrah has walked 18 times. The Astros are averaging more than 4 walks per game as a team. The Rangers averaging more than 4 walks as a team. 3-2 pitch, swung on, and high in the air down the right field line. That's drifting off into foul ground and back out of play. Dave Bergman with a long run for that one, and right fielder Jose Cruz, but nobody could get to it. So the count hangs on, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Connie Ryan is coaching at third base. Fred Koenig is coaching at first for the Rangers. The grass here, there is grass, but it appears to be mostly dead, as the cold weather here has not allowed it to blossom into its full, rich green color. Not by a long shot. 3-2 pitch. He threw the fastball and got him swinging. So Necro, after 6 straight knuckleballs, goes to the fastball and blows it by him. That'll bring up Toby Harrah. And that's one thing Wilbur Wood really can't do to you. You throw a hard fastball by you. Necro has a pretty good fastball.
Number 11, third base.
And it looks even faster after you've seen a lot of knuckleballs. Here's Toby Harrah. Knuckler for a strike, knee high, 0-1. Harrah got tossed out of the ball game yesterday at Little Rock. This play you won't see very often. 1 strike pitch, low for a ball. On a 3-2 pitch, he had a check swing, and the umpire said low ball 4, and he trotted down to first base. 1-1 pitch, swung on, bounced to third base side. Cabell cuts across to his left, fields it, hurries, got him at first base. 2 gone, and Al Oliver will bat here in the last of the first. Scoreless ball game from Tulsa. But Harrah got all the way to first base, and all of a sudden the Astros started throwing the ball around the infield. Then we looked over to first base, and Toby was arguing with the umpire, Joe West.
Left fielder, former Pirate.
And apparently the Astros had made a belated appeal play, and Joe West said, yes, he swung at it. He's out. Here's a fastball to Oliver for a strike, 0-1. Harrah argued with the call, said something that Joe West took umbrage with, and West tossed him out. Here's a knuckler, and Oliver fouls it back to the screen, 0-2. That one broke in about 2 feet on him. Looked like it was headed for the outside corner and almost hit him in the wrist. 0-2 the count. The reason it was so strange was because the appeal came so late. 2 strike pitch. Shot down the right field line, and it's curving foul into the corner. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes to Oliver. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the first. Generally, you have that appeal play, and they ask for it automatically. The plate umpire points down to either the first or third base umpire, depending on who's up, and gets the call immediately. Here's a 2 strike pitch to Oliver. Knuckleball high, a ball and 2 strikes. In fact, the 2 American League umpires working this series have been traveling with the Rangers, and both of them thought it was sort of an odd thing to happen. There's a swing, bouncer, foul just outside of first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, they also said everybody knows that there are no good umpires in the National League anyway. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted high in the air into short left field. Sexton, the shortstop, goes out, but now the left fielder Walling in to make the catch. And the Rangers go down 1-2-3 after one inning from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Texas nothing, Houston nothing.
The day is done. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. So just say, bud. And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of bud is like an easy chair when you say Budweiser. Hey, let me tell you something. Settling back with a long day behind you and a cold bud in front of you, my man, that's living. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch St. Louis.
Reminder, fans, that the Dan Diaper Travel Company, cooperating with the Texas Rangers Baseball Network, wants to take you out to the ball game in Yankee Stadium, May the 5th through the 7th. Fly to New York, see 3 Yankee Ranger games, stay in the Sheraton Hotel, and enjoy other extras provided for the low per-person cost of $319. A limited number of reservations will go very fast, so get the details and sign up today. Call 265-2236 in Arlington for a complete itinerary. That's 265-2236 in Arlington to get the itinerary. We'll look for you at Yankee Stadium. That ought to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend at Arlington Stadium, the brand new Arlington Stadium. I had a brief opportunity to view the stadium a couple of weeks ago, and I tell you, it's worth the trip out there just to take a look at the new ballpark. It's a beauty. We go to the second inning. Leading off for the Astros is Art Howe, and he takes low and outside, ball one. Art Howe, Ed Herman, Jimmy Sexton. The 7, 8, 9 spots in the Astros batting order. Here's a swing, two-hopper to third, Harrah to his right, fields it deep, long throw, got him at first. One out. And let's pause now, 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas.
George Goebel says save now on Demco Posture Mattress and Box Spring Sets at Miles Furniture, Corsicana, Texas.
Ed Herman. Dad had a couple of base hits yesterday. He's had a fine springtime, hitting .421. Takes low and inside, ball one. In fact, Herman got a big bases-loaded single against Jim Umbarger. Drove home a couple of runs in the 8th inning yesterday. Curveball, bounced foul outside of first. 1 ball, 1 strike. They had walked a man ahead of Herman, a right-handed batter, with first base open to get to Herman, and he just swatted one right through the open hole on the right side of the infield. 2 runs, as easy as could be. They list Herman at 210. You think he's 210?
That one, he's 10 years old.
Here's a swing, high chopper, right side of the infield. Ellis can't get it. Wills charges, fields, throws, got him at first base.
Nice play by Bump Wills.
Nicely done by Bump Wills, as Herman is not the swiftest man from home plate to first. It's not that swift from first base back to the dugout, really.
Number 24, the Houston shortstop, Jimmy.
Does look a little better than he has in the past, trimmed down a little bit. But the press guy lists him at 210, and well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. There's a curve for a strike to Jimmy Sexton. Sexton hitting .222 in the springtime. Right-handed swinger, a rookie. Stole 52 bases in the minor leagues last year. Ellis misses with a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sexton given a chance to win that shortstop job. Was acquired from the Seattle Mariners for Leon Roberts back in December. He swings, looper, center field. It's going to fall in front of Beniquez' base hit. And it hit something out there, a rock or a weed or something, and Beniquez has to pull to his right a couple of steps to pick it up. So with 2 outs, the Astros get another base hit. And we swing back to the top of the batting order for Terry Poole. He struck out looking his first time. Sexton is a threat to steal, as we mentioned. Stole 52 bases for San Jose of the Coast League last year. 75 in Shreveport. He had 48 stolen bases. Played 14 games for Seattle last year and hit .216. Here's Poole. Fastball low and inside. Ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Doc Ellis, 10-6 for the Rangers last year. Most Ranger fans certainly know how well he pitched when coming over from the Oakland A's. He's into his stretch. Hargrove holds against Sexton. Sexton runs. The pitch is low. The throw to second is right there. Out at second base. Sundberg threw a strike shin high, and Campaneris has put his glove down, and the runner slid right into it. So that's all in the second for the Astros. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We'll go to the last of the second. Texas nothing, Houston nothing.
Our guest today is Judge J. Norbert Tierney. How long have you been on the bench, sir?
Ever since you said sit down, we'll be right on the air. I
meant how long have you been a judge?
Oh, I see. 52 years.
Could you tell us your most memorable moment?
11:30 a.m., March 4th, 1924, the Scoops trial.
What happened at 11:20?
Well, we broke for recess, see, and I had a dandy spiced luncheon meat sandwich.
Spiced luncheon?
One of the many delicious lunch meats made by Decker Meats of Texas. The pickle loaf, the chopped ham's wonderful.
I am interested in your most difficult decision as a judge.
Well, that's what I'm telling you.
What?
See, I couldn't decide between the Decker cooked ham and the bologna, so I decided on the spiced luncheon.
Yeah, what about precedents and rulings?
Well, I could tell you one ruling.
Oh, good.
Every precedent should serve Decker beef frankfurters because they're so juicy and tasty.
Sir, what about cases?
Oh, you can buy Decker by the case, but the jumbo frank comes 8 to the package, and that's all I
Folks are dedicated to Decker because Decker has been dedicated to quality since 1899.
Decker meats are available in fine markets in your area.
Remember, Driller Park is for all of Tulsa, and you can show your support for Tulsa University baseball and all the teams that play here in Driller Park.
It'll all get started this Saturday at Arlington Stadium, April the 8th. The world champion Yankees and the Texas Rangers, the United States Navy Band will be on hand to help us open the new stadium and also to welcome NBC and a national television audience. 78th season, of course, could well be the most exciting in Ranger history. So be on hand Saturday, April the 8th. There are still some general admission tickets remaining. And don't forget 2 more ball games in that series, Sunday and Monday. Won't want to miss any of them. Sunday afternoon and Monday night. That Monday night ball game will also be on national television. ABC Monday and NBC on Saturday.
Number 34, designated hitter John Lowenstein.
Here's John Lowenstein to start the second inning off. Knuckleball is high, ball 1. Lowenstein inserted at the last moment in place of Richie Zisk in the designated hitter's role. Lowenstein, left-handed swinger. 1-0 pitch. Too high, 2-0. Lowenstein lives in Las Vegas during the off-season. Says it's the greatest place in the world to live. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Swung on a high drive to deep right field. Back goes Cruz. He turns around and it's gone. Home run. John Lowenstein hits one right down the right field line, a high drive, and it cleared the wall with plenty to spare. And the Rangers have taken a 1-0 lead. That's home run number 2 for Lowenstein, and the 15th home run of the springtime for the Rangers as a team. So Lowenstein cracks one here. In fact, John's been just about the best hitter of anybody in spring training for Texas. He came into the ball game hitting .367. Here's Claudel Washington, a swinging strike, 0-1. Juan Beniquez on deck. So it's 1-0 Texas. First base hit against Joe Niekro. 1 strike pitch, swung on, top foul to the plate, 0-2. Richie Zisk, this is according to Mike Hargrove and Kurt Bavacqua. He was chewing some tobacco and he got sick. I can understand that. Big swing and a miss, and Washington goes down. Big breaking knuckleball that time. 1 out, and Juan Beniquez. That's right. Ball players never get sick from that stuff.
Right.
You know, we just hear some thunder.
You heard what I heard. Number 12, center fielder Juan Beniquez.
Ah, doesn't mean anything. Here's Juan Beniquez. Pitch to Juan. Lays off a knuckleball high and inside, ball 1. A little bit of thunder off in the distance. You think that means something?
Yes, it's lightning.
Well, I know that. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped up right side of the infield, drifting into shallow right now. Second baseman Art Howe, he's under it, and makes the catch. 2 out in the second, and Bump Wills will bat. 1-0 Texas, a leadoff home run by John Lowenstein. Back in 1974, a hot, humid day in Cincinnati, the Dodgers were there for a doubleheader. They said it was about 95 degrees. The humidity was 95%. And one of the umpires working on the bases left the game after the second inning. They thought maybe the heat had gotten to him. Outside to Wills, ball one. They found out later, no, it was not heat. The umpire had swallowed his chew of tobacco.
He'll do it every time.
Oh, boy. Low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, you know, generally you put something in your mouth, you chew it up, and you swallow it. You must have forgot. 2-0 pitch. Look out. That one almost hitting Wills on the inside. Did that tip off the bat? Hit off the glove, Ed Herman. Get no call, so it's now 3 balls, no strikes. Pitch goes to the fastball and hits it on the outside corner. 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the second. Texas leading 1-0. There's a curveball, but it's high. Ball 4. First walk by Necro, and that brings up Campy Campaneris. Campaneris hitting .250. He's really been bringing the average up the last few days. Campy, the venerable shortstop.
Texas shortstop, Bert Campaneris.
Hey, this guy was a catcher. Came out of Cuba in the early 1960s, came to the then Kansas City A's camp and was a catcher. He weighed 130 pounds. There's a loud throw to first, and Wills goes back. They were going to cut him, but somebody said, you know, maybe if we put him in another position besides catcher.
Right.
Somebody had the foresight to put him at shortstop, and he's been one of the finest the league has ever had. Necro at the belt. The pitch to Campaneris. Low, ball 1. Snap throw to first by Herman, but Wills is back. And we had a loud clap of thunder there a moment ago. We're all set here, even though we're out in the open. We've got plastic coverings and towels and everything else.
Thanks for the telephone.
None of which will probably work. Necro at the belt, now turns, throws to first, but again, Wills is back, and they said he balked. Plate umpire Joe West, and also first base umpire Al Clark, both spotting it. And it's starting to rain a little bit now. Bump Wills goes down to second, but quick, let's get that plastic up. Come on now. Let's go. None of us have umbrellas, of course. So we get the plastic up over our heads as the rains start to fall here. Umbrellas pop up in front of us. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Campaneris, low and inside for a ball, 2-0. I don't believe this. One of us is going to have to break down and buy an umbrella. You know it? 2 balls and no strikes to Campaneris. Inside, ball 3. 3-0. We've got umbrellas popping up in front of us. And I can just barely see the home plate area right now. In fact, home plate down the third base line and left field I can see very clearly. 3-0 pitch. Inside, he walked him. Necro has walked the last 2 batters now. Runners at first and second, and Jim Sundberg, the number 9 man of the batting order, will swing. What we've got from the local phone company is a large piece of plastic, and the 3 of us are sitting on it, and then we bring it up over our backs, and now we pull it up over our heads, and we're all sitting here with our hands outstretched in front of us, holding it up, and so we can see the field. Here's the pitch to Sundberg. Swung on a high drive to deep center field. Back goes Poole. He's at the wall and makes the catch. Sundberg hit it well, but got under it. The Rangers get 1 run, 1 hit in strand 2, and after 2 full from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Texas 1, Houston 0.
That sound of the ball smacking the mitt and the crack of the bat should give you a clue that it won't be long till spring. And spring is paint-up, fix-up time around the house. It's been a long, tough winter, and you'll be money ahead if you do those fix-up jobs pretty quickly before they get worse and cause you real trouble. Your Cook Paint Decorating Center has a store full of paint and decorating supplies and tools, and quite an assortment of how-to-do-it booklets that are free for the asking. So if you're thinking paint, think Cook. Cook Paint, and your Cook Paint Decorating Center.
In Arlington, for the good times in 1978, Six Flags Over Texas is more exciting than ever. The longest, tallest, fastest double-loop roller coaster in the world, the Shockwave, opens this spring. The biggest thing ever to happen in your imagination. Only minutes away is Traders Village, Disneyland of flea markets, and more open weekends. And just 10 minutes east is the Southwest's largest wax museum, featuring the region's famous and infamous in wax, as well as the largest antique gun collection in the United States. For vacation fun, come to Arlington.
State fans, would you like to win 2 free tickets to a Ranger game of your choice? If so, send a postcard to Ranger First Run Contest, First National Bank of Fort Worth, Post Office Box 2260, Fort Worth, Texas 76101. That's Ranger First Run Contest, First National Bank of Fort Worth, Post Office Box 2260, Fort Worth, Texas 76101. Well, the rain is not a very heavy one here. A spring drizzle, I guess. Say, Jim Birdsong set us up with this. We've got a much better setup. The Houston Astros radio crew is off to our left. They also have a big sheet of plastic, but what they did was wrap it around the front of the table, and then they bring it up. They can't see the ball game that way. We can't either, really, but it's still a much better setup. Here's Terry Poole to start the third for the Astros. He's 0 for 1. Fastball outside, ball 1. Poole was at the plate when Jimmy Sexton was thrown out trying to steal to end the second inning. 1-0 Texas. 1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball right side. Bump Wills far to his left. Bobbles the ball. Picks it up and has no play. First baseman Hargrove also ranged far to his right off the baseline, thinking he might have had a shot at it. And then Wills going far to his left bobbled the ball with Doc Ellis going over to cover first. And by the time Bump got the handle on it, Poole was safe. That'll go as an error. First error of the ball game, and Enos Cavell will bat. So Poole at first base, the first time the Astros have had a leadoff man on. Poole, in 60 games at Houston last year, stole 10 bases. Curve is low to Cabell. Cabell bounced to third in the first. He's 0 for 1. Cabell hitting .259 in the spring. Former Baltimore Oriole. Ellis at the belt. The runner goes. The pitch is fouled at the plate. Had the hit and run on that time. Poole took off, and Cabell fouled it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Those Detroit Tigers continue to be the hottest team of the springtime. 16 wins and 8 losses. And they'll be at Arlington Stadium right after the Yankees. Tuesday and Wednesday, April 11th and 12th. Might see Mark Fidrich in one of those games. Big curveball outside. He hits by Jim Sundberg back to the screen. And Poole now goes to second. Probably give him a wild pitch in that one. Hit the dirt outside. Sundberg couldn't block it. So now Poole in scoring position. The count 2 balls and a strike to Enos Cabell. Cesar Cedeno on deck. Cabell was experimented with at the start of the spring at shortstop. But they felt that it was much too complex a position to have to learn in a short amount of time. So the experiment is dead, at least for this year. Pitch, little chopper, third base side. Harrod charges, has to hurry, throws, got him by a step at first base. Down to third goes Poole. So Cabell bounces out, but does move the runner along. Now Cesar Cedeno. Poole now could score with a fly ball. Wild pitch.
Number 28, designated hitter, Cesar Cedeno.
Quite a number of things that he could not score from on second when he was at second. Cesar Cedeno, he swatted a double down the left field line in the first. Cesar Cedeno says he wants to be an Astro for life, and the Astros did all they could to accommodate him. Swung on, hard bouncer to shortstop. It hits the chest of Campaneris. Cedeno will be safe, and coming in to score is Terry Poole. Rangers had the infield back, and Poole was going to score anyway. But Campaneris will get charged with an error for allowing Cedeno to reach first base safely. That one hit the pebble, took the high hop on Campaneris. To his credit, he stayed right on it. Hit off his chest.
Number 25, right fielder.
So the score is tied 1-1. Give Cedeno an RBI there. And charge the error to Campaneris. There's a swing and a drive to right field, headed down the corner. It's in, base hit into the corner. Washington over to cut it off. And he holds Cruz at first base with a single. Down to third base goes Cedeno. Claudel hustled over on that ball along the right field line, cut it off, and he held Jose Cruz to a base hit. That is the first hit of the inning for the Astros. Poole was safe on Bump Will's error.
Number 16, first base.
Then he went to second on a wild pitch. He went to third on Cabell's infield out. Scored on a bouncer to Cabaneras, but Cabaneras bobbled it. So now runners at first and third, one out. Dave Bergman, the batter. Bergman walked in the first. Ellis delivers. Chopper foul, first base side. Deacon Jones, the first base coach for the Astros, grabs it. Tony Pacheco coaching over at third. Outfield deep against Bergman. Play him to Poole. Bump Wills trying to plug up the hole on the right side. Campaneris cheating over towards second from his shortstop position. There goes Cruz. The pitch is taken. The throw to second is there. They got him at second base, and Cedeno held on at third. Campaneris applied the tag. Sundberg's throw was right there again. And now Campaneris looks like he might have gotten spiked. Time is taken, and Campaneris now is kneeling on one knee, and he pulls the left pant leg up over the knee and has a look. Bill Ziegler, the trainer, came out, as did manager Billy Hunter, but Campaneris says he's fine. The count to Bergman is 1 ball and 1 strike as Jim Sundberg has now thrown out both Astros who've tried to steal. Beautiful throws both times. That one a little bit low, but Campaneris able to hang on to it. 1-1 pitch, low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Cruz, not an easy man to throw out. He stole 44 times last year for the Astros. 2-1 to Bergman, 2 out, runner at third. The pitch is hit foul past the first base bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Astros have tied it up here in the third inning on an unearned run. The infield here is not the best. John Lowenstein posted odds before the game. I said odds on what? There's a mortality rate in the infield. Fastball down the middle, strike 3 call. So Ellis gets out of the third inning with a minimum of damage. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, 1 left after 2.5. Houston won, Texas won.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, Chevrolet. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, Chevrolet.
Wet your lips, America, because Chevy's serving up a fresh new slice of apple pie. A tasty new mid-sized car called Malibu that's so right for so many people right now, you'd be inclined to believe it was designed by John Q. Public himself. It's got crisp, good looks, a nice trim body, and even more headroom, more legroom, and more trunk room than last year's Malibu. It's a car that's going to get you grinning when you point it down the road. Now, I ask you, America, isn't that what you had in mind?
New size, quick size, mid-size Malibu, a fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet.
When it comes to value,
A fresh new slice of apple pie.
America comes to Chevrolet.
All Chevy Malibu.
Juicy.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet. A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevy Malibu. A fresh new slice of apple.
It's still raining in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've still got the plastic up over our heads. I don't know how long we can hold out like this because we all have our hands extended out in front of us and above our heads to hold the plastic up and also give ourselves a view of the field.
Reminder that the 1978 Tulsa Driller games will be broadcast.
1-1 tie here from Tulsa. Next Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the season begins for real.
The first base coach, number 47.
And I know now that the Rangers are going to be a serious threat to win it all this year because TV Guide picked them for first place in the Western Division.
For Tulsa that year. Also on the coaching staff for Texas is former 1967.
When's the last time TV Guide was wrong?
Corrales.
Bottom of the says something's going to be on at 10 o'clock. It's on at 10 o'clock.
Number 21.
Mike Hargrove leads off the bottom of the third for the Rangers. He struck out in the first. Toby Harrah, Al Oliver will follow in the rain of Tulsa. Not a hard rain, but it's steady. Knuckleball outside, ball 1. Necro worked him 6 straight knuckleballs, and on a 3-2 pitch, he threw a fastball and got him on the outside. Blew it by him. Wind up, the 1-0 delivery. Knuckleball, bouncer ball, right side of the infield. Fielding it at second is HOU, and he throws him out. One out, Toby Hara. Talking to players about hitting against knuckleballer Wilbur Wood, they said at least you always knew what he was going to throw. You rarely knew where he was going to throw it because he didn't know that. But at least you knew it was going to be a knuckleball.
Toby Hara.
Pitch to Hara. High, ball one. But Necro, he'll sneak in a fastball and a curveball. Keep you off stride. 1-0 pitch to Hara. Swing and a miss. Letter high knuckler that time, and that one looked like it just slid along a tabletop. Came into home plate. 1 out, nobody on. Outfield deep. Low for a ball. 2-1. Last of the third, 1-1 ball game. The Rangers 1 run scoring on Lowenstein's home run in the second. Knuckler bends Hara out of there on the inside. 3-1. One of the papers today said that there was tornado warnings up for some part of this. That wasn't this part, was it?
No, that was just last night.
Oh, last night we had tornado warnings. 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4. Hara had a half swing at that one, and then he looked at plate umpire Joe West. West is the man who ejected him yesterday on the appeal play at first. Hara kind of stood at home plate, said, I'm not going anywhere until you tell me unequivocally that I am allowed first base.
Left fielder, Al Oliver.
1 out, runner at first, Al Oliver, the batter. Oliver flying to left in the first. He's 0 for 1. He's had a good springtime. They hold against Hara at first. The pitch is swung on it deep to left center field. Back goes Poole. He's at the wall, and it is gone. Home run. Coming in to score, Toby Hara, and Oliver rounds the base paths as he hit that one to deep left center field, and it cleared the tallest part of the ballpark out there. As the fence is tall all the way around, but some places it's taller than others, and he hit that one over a tall place here. Home run number 2 for Oliver, and he continues to lead the team in runs batted in spring training. That's number 11 and also number 12 for him. 12 RBIs for Al Oliver. Here's John Lowenstein, who homered his first time. He swings and misses. It's 0-1. 3-1, Texas leading as the Rangers playing long ball here in Tulsa. Low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Batter number 6.
This ballpark is the home of the
home run hitter, John Lowe.
Rangers AA ball club, which plays in the Texas League. Low for ball 2. 2-1. Steve Comer pitched here last year. For a while, Danny Darwin pitched here. Paul Mirabella, all whom we saw in spring training. Shot foul down the right field line. Had a photographer in the field down there, was sitting down, and he hopped up, looked like a jumping bean down there. Sitting flat on the ground. I don't know how he got any spring to jump up like that. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hard bouncer to second, 2 hops, played by HOU. A lot of time, throws him out. 2 outs in the third. That'll bring up Claudel Washington. 3-1 now. Texas leading. The Rangers with only 2 hits, but both of them round trippers. Rangers with a team batting average of .246, but they have averaged 5 runs a game in the springtime.
Washington.
And if you average 5 runs a game in the regular season, you're going to be at least one of the leading scoring teams in baseball, if not the top scoring team. Claudel, little chopper toward the mound. Off the mound is Necro. Fields it, turns, throws him out at first base. But for the Rangers in the third inning, 2 runs, 1 hit, nobody left. A third of the way through it. Texas 3, Houston 1.
If you're riding on radial tires, you probably selected them to help promote tire life. But don't let worn shocks shorten that life. If your car needs new shocks, replace them now with new Delco Big D heavy-duty shocks. They give you 59% more shock-absorbing capacity than conventional 1-inch shocks. To help get the mileage your tires were designed to offer, get Delco Big D's at Ashby AAA Auto Parts. 3 locations serving North Dallas and Addison. Ashby AAA at Lovers Lane and Dallas North Toll Road, Forest and Preston Road, and Addison Automotive Warehouse, Addison and Beltline Road.
Thank you for joining us for this Texas Rangers baseball game on WBAP. We'd like to remind you to stay tuned to WBAP for the best music around, with a lot of people who enjoy what they do. It starts every morning, Monday through Saturday, with Don Harris saying, "Good morning, bright eyes," and keeping you informed, entertained, and smiling. WBAP 820. No matter where you are or where you're going, we'd sure like for you to join us on WBAP, doing it all for WBA people.
The Arlington Chamber of Commerce is hosting a Victory Ranger Luncheon on Monday, April 10th at the Inn of the Six Flags. It's the kickoff luncheon for the 1978 baseball season, and the whole Ranger team will be there. And when you purchase a table of 10, you can select your favorite Ranger player as your guest. Tickets now on sale at the Arlington Chamber of Commerce, 275-2613. Tickets must be purchased in advance and are on a first-come, first-served basis. That's the Rangers On to Victory Luncheon, Monday, April the 10th. Well, we were going to go to Bill Merrill now, but Bill has got this great pen, Beauty. It's got the fine line, beautiful-looking ink, but when it gets water on it, it doesn't stay there anymore. It becomes disappearing ink. So here's Bill, and don't ask him about the first 3 because they're not there anymore. Wow, Bill Merrill.
Thank you, John. Here's Ellis all set, and the first pitch comes down to Walling. The left fielder sends a fly ball to deep left field. Al Oliver's back under it and grabs it. 1 up, 1 pitch, and 1 man is gone. Now, as far as 10 seconds for station identification, this is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas.
If you can't be in the grandstand tonight, be at the newsstand in the morning and pick up a Dallas Times-Herald Texas edition.
Hey, how about that? It's quit raining. We dropped the top out from under it. Here's Art Howe. He grounded out his only trip this afternoon. Nothing out of 1. Art came on, batting at .263. Hit .264 last year for the Astros. Takes a look at a pitch right over knee high for strike 1. 3-1, the Rangers leading it. They've been out hit 3-2, but John mentioned they've had a couple of home runs and one with made a board. With the ball hit on the line, Will short hopped it, grabbed it, and he's out right there. Flips it on over to first base, but a liner right off of the shoe tops, grabbed by second baseman Buff Wills, and there is 2 men gone. So Ellis having it easy here in the 4th inning so far. We'll look at catcher Ed Herman. Ed hitting .421 in the springtime, a left-handed batter. Worked 56 ball games for Houston last year and batted .291, so he had a pretty good ball game. Here's Ellis' first delivery. He's high and away with it. Missed 1-0. Ferguson, first-string catcher for the Astros. John mentioned back in Houston being x-rayed. He received an injury a couple of nights ago. Here's the next delivery. Curveball. It's a little low, and the count moves out to 2 balls, no strikes. Fly ball to left, a liner to second. 2 men are gone in the top of the 4th. Ellis peers in, and the right-hander's ready. Here's a breaking pitch low inside, a good slider, but it missed the strike zone, and he falls behind. Ed Herman, 3 balls, no strikes. On deck, Jimmy Sexton, the shortstop. Ellis, a fast worker, comes right back, and he's low, and he walked him. So with 2 down, the Astros got a runner. Ellis surrendering his 3rd walk of the afternoon. Walked a man in the 1st inning, and then follows, as a matter of fact. Loaded the bases on a couple of walks, giving up his 3rd walk, and that'll bring on Jimmy Sexton. He only had 8 hits at Seattle last year, and I believe he had all of them against the Rangers late in the season. Brought up, came over to Houston. Real battle between he and Metzger, but talking with Bill Burton, it looks like the perennial Gold Glove winner at shortstop, Metzger, doesn't pack that much of a bat. Will open the season for the Astros at shortstop. Sexton, right-handed batter, stands in. 2 down, 1 on. A look by Ellis to first. Here's the pitch. Fires it right down in there, but a little bit low for ball 1. 5 hits in the ball game. Joe West working behind the plate. Al Clark up at first. Eric Gregg at second, and Durwood Merrill over at third. Ellis ready, and here's the pitch. Pops that one through. Strike call, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't forget. Next Saturday afternoon, 3:05 will be game time. The Yankees, the defending world champions, in town to do battle with the Rangers on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Here's the pitch. Another fastball drilled to right. Coming on is Washington. He gets there, makes the belt-high catch. So a liner drilled to right field, caught by Claudel Washington. No runs, no hits, a man stranded. And after 3.5, our score, The Rangers 3 and the Astros 1.
The day is done. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. So just lay bud and pour the king of beer and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of blood is like an easy chair. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
5 p.m. game.
Broadcast of the Texas Ranger baseball games are the property of the Texas Ranger Baseball Network. Any reproduction without the prior written consent of the Rangers Network is prohibited. Radio and television broadcasting rights of the Texas Ranger baseball games are owned and operated by the Texas Ranger Baseball Network, a division of the City of Arlington. General managers, sportscasters, engineers, and directors of these broadcasts are employed and compensated for services by the City of Arlington, Texas. Joe Necro, 6'1", 190-pounder, coming through the first 3 innings, being tagged for only a couple of base hits, but 3 runs, walked the batter, and then Al Oliver took him to left center field for the go-ahead runs in the 3rd inning. Had given up a solo clap to John Lowenstein, leading off in the 2nd inning. Necro, on July 24th of last year, started his drive and wound up the year with a 13-8 record. They were in Chicago and had only 5 available pitchers with a doubleheader against the Cubs. Necro came on and won the 2nd ball game, going the route, and pitched a 9-hit shutout. And from that time on, Bill Burden will tell you that he has been perhaps the best pitcher on their staff. And he, as John mentioned earlier, picked up right where he left off here in the spring. Here's Benikas starting it off, swings on a breaking pitch, and it's strike 1. Benikas popped to the second baseman, Art Howe, in his only trip this afternoon. Nothing out of 1. Juan came on with a .227 batting average. He's popped 1 homer and driven across 8 runs this year for the Rangers. Spring training. Necro ready. There's a drive to left field. That'll drop for a base hit. Over the field is Dennis Walling. Delivers it back to the infield. And Benikas picks up the Rangers' 3rd hit. Bottom of the 4th inning. Rangers getting their leadoff batter Benikas aboard. And Bump Wills, who had a walk, his only turn, comes on. Bump's hitting at even .250. No homers and 1 run batted in. Batting left against the right-hander Necro.
Rookie honors last year at second base.
Bert Campaneris is on deck. Rain still falling just slightly. Here at Driller Park in Tulsa. Last year we had a similar situation, but the rain rather hard and a little hail mixed in with it. But it only lasted a short time, and the game interrupted only briefly. Here's the pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Benikas, a threat to run on at first base. Down the lines, 330, straightaway center. It's 390 feet. Takes a pretty good poke to get it out of here. There's the runner moving. The ball is taken. Ed Herman delivers a throw. It's going to be too high, and Benikas swipes the base. So Juan Benikas steals the base for Texas to get a man in scoring position. With nobody out, pitch was up, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's his 2nd swipe of the year in springtime. So Necro finds himself in a little bit of a hot box right now with a 1-1 count on the batter, and Wills runs up to bunt, missed it, and takes the strike. So it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bump's going to try to push that one between third and the pitching mound and beat it out for the base hit. And at the same time, drawing the third baseman Cabell in would have allowed Benikas to race on over to third base. But he did not make contact with it. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3's out of there. And there's 1 man gone. 3rd strikeout registered by the right-hander Necro this afternoon. 1 down, and here is Bert Campaneris, who had a walk, his only turn. Bert comes out, and now he may be called back, heading back to the dugout, or simply may want something to rub the bat down a little bit. And up he's going to get his batting helmet. He'd come up to the plate without that. Don't forget, Yankees and Rangers open it up this coming weekend at Arlington Stadium. I understand the sale of tickets been going rather briskly. Here's Campaneris standing in. Third hitting .250, 3 runs batted in, no homers in the springtime. Benikas with a sizable lead at second. Necro works him, and Campaneris drills it to center field. Should be able to get a run in. Here's the throw from center fielder Poole, cut off, and Benikas slides in with the 4th Ranger run of the ball game. So Campaneris stepped up and hit that first pitch directly up the middle, through the box, on a line, and drives in his 4th run of the year. Rangers lead it now 4-1, and that's the Rangers' 4th hit of the afternoon. So Necro being scuffed up here for another run in the 4th inning on a couple of base hits, plus a stolen base chopped in by Benikas. A runner at first, still only 1 man out, and Jim Sundberg, who had a fly ball to deep center, his only trip this afternoon, stands in. Jim, bring at .269, has a home run and driven across 6 runs. Top of the order, Mike Hargrove is on deck. We play in the last of the 4th inning in a 4-1 Ranger lead. Texas won the first encounter between these two teams, and then were defeated yesterday in Little Rock. There the ball hit foul out of play to the right, and it's strike 1. Rangers winning 7-5 in Baton Rouge, and then losing yesterday 8-1 in Little Rock. And J.R. Richard, their starting pitcher, pitched 7 excellent innings, giving up only a couple of singles. Runner moves, pitch out on, and woo, Sundberg flipped the bat at it and struck the catcher. He stepped up in there, and Ed Herman took that bat on the left hand, trainer out immediately, and John's got the glasses on him, see if he can pick up anything there. But I think Sundberg will be allowed first base on interference by the catcher, and that will be the call. Campaneris was breaking. And moving on down. John, could you get anything with your glasses there?
Well, Herman's got his back to us, but it looks like he's looking down around the hand area, like it might have gotten him somewhere in the left hand or maybe the fingers. Jim Sundberg is staying right there, the one catcher having some empathy for another. Bill Verdon has already made the decision to go with 2 catchers this year, which is always a bit risky. And he lost his number 1 catcher, although we do not know for how long. It didn't appear to be too serious. Joe Ferguson, who injured his leg Friday night. He was going after a wild pitch, and he got back to the screen, and he slid, and he hurt himself. So Ed Herman's the only regular catcher left, and now he's been hit in the hand, and I think they are going to take him out. And now Bill Verdon, even before the season begins, has run out of catchers. And I think Wilbur Howard, generally an outfielder, is a man who has been working out a little bit at catcher, and he's probably the man they're going to bring into the ball game right now. So Bill Verdon talking with plate umpire Joe West now about that play. He wants to know how Jim Sundberg could have stayed in the batter's box, because he didn't throw the bat at the ball. He actually held on to it, but it looked to me like he did indeed stay in the batter's box, and that what happened was that Herman shot forward into the box, or right near home plate, and he just got himself into a bad predicament there. And Sundberg did what he's supposed to do.
That's true. He was protecting the runner, Campaneris, who had broken. It looked momentarily as though, John, they might have had a pitch out on, and the pitch by Necro was not that far outside, although it was outside, but Sundberg, in an effort to protect him, got the bat out. And as you mentioned, the catcher, Herman, stepped up to grab that ball as quickly as he could to uncork that throw, and when he did, he was struck with a bat on the left hand.
Well, no doubt about it. I think that if the pitch had been where it should have been, I think there's no question that it was supposed to be a pitch out. Sundberg would have had to throw the bat. Otherwise, he would not have been able to even come close to the ball, staying in the batter's box. But Herman is gone, and we're hoping that it will be nothing too serious, maybe some bruises, but that's always a dangerous thing. You get a bat on the left hand, the exposed hand like that, either the top of the hand or the fingertip, somewhere in that area appeared to be what the trainer was looking at. So hopefully it's just not anything serious. They're just getting him out of there for precautionary reasons. Cesar Cedeno now has come out to keep Joe Necro warm, as I would assume Wilbur Howard is getting the tools on now, and indeed he is. Cesar Cedeno came out with the catcher's glove, and he knelt and accepted the first warm-up toss from Necro, and then stood up, turned to the crowd, and said, "Hey, how about that?" They gave him a nice round of applause.
Catcher for Houston will be number 26.
Well, the Astros
coming in, John, excuse me.
Astros going with 2 catchers, and that is also something that the Rangers are going to do. With Bill Fahey having been placed on waivers, they'll be going with Jim Sundberg and John Ellis And I don't know as how we really have a third man who's even really worked out during the springtime at catcher.
Never forget a situation developing in California about 3 years ago. Sundberg was hit on the hand, and either on the next pitch, after he was taken out of the ball game, Bill Fahey came in, and the first pitch, he also suffered a hand injury on a foul ball, and then they had to go to Lenny Randall, who was at that time playing second base for the Rangers. He came on and caught the ball game and did a fine job.
Well, I do just remember now that Campy Campaneris, as we mentioned earlier, did come up as a catcher. But I don't think they'd use Campaneris as a catcher. When was it? Back in 66 or 67, when the A's were still in Kansas City, Campaneris one night played all 9 positions in the ball game.
Pitched a little. Oh, Jim's wanting a little cover.
Still raining here.
Pass this down. No, not in my cup.
Herman's probably fine. He just wants to get out of the rain.
Well, he could have split a fingernail pretty easily, John, on something like that, and that would cause a little pain. All right, we're ready to go as Wilbur Howard has replaced Ed Herman behind the plate.
Top of the order for Texas now.
And Mike Hargrove will be the batter. Mike is struck out and grounded out. Nothing out of 2. A run is in on a home run on a couple of singles and the stolen base. The run batted in by Bert Campaneris, who is now down on second base. And Sundberg is on at first base on the interference call with the plate umpire. First delivery missing low for a ball. 1-0. Looks like it's getting a little lighter, but the rain is still coming down. Mike, a left-handed batter, came in today's ball game hitting at .255. Has runners on board, Campaneris and Sundberg. At second and first, the outfield shading off to the right side. Infield set up in double play depth with one out. Here's the pitch. Knuckler outside, and the count is 2-0. Harrah's on deck. Mike will walk about 100 times a year and hit 300 for you. So he's on the base paths about 45% of the time. Necro taking a little more time with a new catcher in there, Howard. And here's the pitch. Swung on, lifted high into left field. Drifting into left center is the left fielder. Walling, he has it, and the runners will have to hold. Now 2 men are out, and that'll bring in Toby Harrah. So Hargrove lifts a high fly ball to left field. Dennis Walling, left fielder, grabs it. Toby Harrah, who is grounded out and walked, comes on to be the next batter. Still 2 men aboard.
7 home runs last year, Toby Harrah.
Harrah has walked in each ball game, or averaged to walk in each game that he has appeared in this spring, 19. Here's a look in the first pitch, Toby. In for a strike. Well, we got that umbrella immediately in front of us again, John, and it's kind of guesswork as to what the pitches are.
Well, I'm glad you're doing it right now, not me. But I can't. I'm listening to you to find out what's happening.
Bert Campaneris starts his lead. Sundberg away from first base. Pitch comes in, and another strike is called, this time over the outside edge. No balls, 2 strikes. A run is in on a couple of base hits. Rangers own a 4-1 lead. Game that is being spotted with a light shower here in Driller Park in Tulsa. One of the Ranger farm clubs, AA, here in Tulsa. And they had some fine prospects come up out of that ball club last year. Here's the pitch. Harrah looks at one, just missing, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Joe Necro has been roughed up for 4 runs on only 4 base hits. The Rangers been making the most out of their base hits. From the belt, to check, a look back to second, Campaneris, and here's the pitch. Swung on, drill to left, a base hit. Campaneris in a hurry to third. The ball is bobbled by Walling, and Campy will score easily. The throw goes to second, and into third moves Sundberg, and hustling into second base is Toby Harrah. That'll be a hit and an error, and an RBI for Harrah. He picks up his 6th RBI of the year. He advances to second on the error, and Campaneris comes on in to score the 5th run of the ball game for Texas. Over to third base from first moves Sundberg.
Been a tough day for Joe Necro. He'd given up 3 runs total in 24 innings before today.
5 runs on 5 hits. A couple of errors. Now to help him. Runners at second and third, and here's Oliver. Swings and misses, strike 1. Al hit a 2-run homer over the left center field wall, deepest part of the park as far as the height is concerned, and rammed it over there. picking up his 11th or 12th RBIs of the year. Earlier, he'd slide to left. Negro ready, and in comes the pitch. Hard swing and a miss. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 runs are in. 5-1 the Rangers. Hara at second, and Sundberg at third. On deck is John Lowenstein. Here's the next delivery. Hard swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strike him out, and that'll do it. But the Rangers come up with 2 more runs on 3 base hits, a couple of errors, and 2 men stranded. That's the end of 4, and the score, Texas 5 and Houston 1. Okay, we move into inning number 5, and the top of the order, Terry Poole will open it up.
Kansas City Royals 4-1.
Poole struck out and has been aboard on an error and scored Houston's lone tally this afternoon. Of course, John, I'm sure that the ball clubs, with the fine turnout they have here this afternoon, are determined to get in at least 5 innings to make it a complete ball game.
No doubt about it. Part of the proceeds today will go to help rebuild this ballpark. A couple of city agencies have already agreed to come up with $300,000, and they need another $300,000 to raise on their own. So the Rangers and Astros, both by playing here, are helping them build their new ballpark.
Certainly true, and here we go as Doc Ellis starts his 5th inning and hits the inside corner at the knees for a strike. Enos Cabell and Cesar Cedeno will follow here in the 5th inning. 3 hits have been doled out by Ellis. Next delivery swung on, top to first base side. Hargrove gets it, funnels it over to Ellis, and he wins the race to first for the force out coming down on Poole. So 3-1 if you score along. Hargrove to Ellis covering on a close play at first base, and Cabell will be the batter. He's twice grounded out, third to first.
Number 23, third baseman Enos Cabell.
Houston has left 6 men stranded in the first 4 at-bats. Rangers committed a couple of errors, and Ellis has walked 3 batters, plus giving up the 3 hits. Here's Enos, nothing out of 1. He takes a strike. Doc Ellis. Last year, one of the Ranger finer pitchers down the final half of the season. Did a good job every time out. Just off of the corner, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grass not quite showing that green that he will in another couple of weeks. Took a little off, and he pops him up. Shallow left field, drifting back to shortstop Campaneros. Campy calls off Oliver and makes the grab for the second out. So Cabell pops to shortstop Bert Campaneros in shallow left field, and that'll bring to the plate Cesar Cedeno. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon, a double to open the ball game in the first inning, and then was on an error. Drove in a run in the 3rd. John mentioned earlier he wanted to play his career out at Houston, and they gave him what is reported to be the biggest contract any baseball player has ever signed, some $3.5 million. Give or take a few $100,000, I guess. So he's pretty well lined up for the next 10 years. Ellis works him way outside and low, ball 1. Cesar has hit 1 homer, driven in 5 runs on the year. He stole 61 bases with Houston last year. He can run and do it all. Here's the pitch. Took a little off, missed inside, ball 2, 2-0. That's the pitch that Ellis got Cabell to pop up to the shallow left field. For the second out in the inning, Cruz is on deck in case Cedeno gets aboard. 2-ball delivery, breaking pitch, just off of the corner, and Sundberg thought he had it. So it's 3-0. Cedeno takes a look down to Tony Pacheco, the coach at third base. He'll have the green light, no doubt. Hey, there's the sun coming out. You'll hear a murmur from the crowd. He swings away on the 3-0 and fouls it back. Strike 1, 3-1. You want to try it? Drop the top. Drop the top.
I'm game.
Tell you what, I believe if you stayed under that plastic with that sun out, if it should stay out, it would really get a little warm. Doc Ellis all set and in rides the 3-1 pitch. He's low with it. Ball 4, and that'll put a runner on. That's the fourth walk given up by Ellis. A little wilder than he has been. He'd walked 5 coming into today's action in 15 innings. One of those intentional. He'll be looking at left-handed batter Jose Cruz, who has walked in singles. So Jose has been on both times he's appeared at the plate. Cruz, a good hitter. He had 299 for Houston last year and drove in 87 runs. Left-handed batter looks at a fastball low inside, ball 1. 5-5-2 for the Rangers, 1-3-2 for Houston. Rangers will work Steve Comer, who worked here at Tulsa some last year. Hard swing and a miss, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Cedeno, you can run, is on at first base. He's had a sore knee. Bill Burton, we mentioned yesterday, says that he's kind of a loose-jointed young man, and he's going. He got a big jump now. He holds up. Well, he faked, and the ball is fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cruz.
That ball club here last year was a pretty good ball club. I think they play a split schedule, and they won the first half, and then they eventually lost in the league championship playoffs to Arkansas. But Danny Darwin had a fine year. Comer was pretty good here.
Sure did. And this Darwin, of course, the Rangers have great hopes for him. Here's the pitch, reach for and tap foul to the left side. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Darwin here was 13-4 last year and a 2.51 earned run average. Every one of his statistics was glowing last year.
Certainly was, and every ball club of the majors, anytime you mention trade, first name they'd bring up of the young players was always Darwin. Rangers had no idea of letting him get away, however. He was one young man that felt that another year in the minors would be much better for him. The runner moves, the pitch is swung on, drill to right, base hit on the ground. Cedeno around second, he'll lope into third base as Washington Fields returns. And with 2 outs, Houston has runners at the corners. So Cruz gets his second hit. He's been on all 3 times, 2 for 2 plus a walk. And that's the 4th base hit given up by Ellis. He's only been scarred for 1 unearned run. And here's Dave Bergman, the first baseman, walked and struck out. He was called out on strikes back in the 3rd inning. Left-handed batter. Outfield pulling him well off to the right side. Benikas in center and Oliver in left field. Oliver way over in left center. Curveball gets away from Sundberg low in the dirt and coming on to score as the throw comes in, and it's not in time. The ball out of the glove of Ellis. He tried to apply the tag, but not in time, and Cedeno scores on a wild pitch by Ellis, allowing Cruz to move up to second base. Now it's a 5-2 ball game. There was a breaking pitch low in the dirt and skipped out of the net of Sundberg and rolled off to the right. Sonny hustled the ball up quickly, fed it to Ellis, who came in to cover at home plate, but the tag was not quite in time and the ball got away from Ellis. Count of a ball, and here's the pitch. In there, strike called, 1-1. Dave Bergman, the left-handed first baseman. Bob Watson will have that job when the season begins. Bob also, along with Ferguson in Houston, undergoing X-ray treatment for a check on a bruise that he sustained in the game day before. Ooh, a bad hop. Hits Wills in the face, and down he goes. And coming on to score is Jose Cruz. That ball bounding towards second, and Wills right in front of it to play it, and it took a high, hard hop right up into his face. And at first is Bergman. All the players dart in quickly, along with trainer Bill Ziegler and manager Bill Hunter out there. And that was a smash right up into the face.
If you're listening to this on any YouTube channel other than Classic Baseball on the Radio, be sure to check out the YouTube channel Classic Baseball on the Radio. This game was first posted.
Earlier in practice, Hargrove sustained a ball that struck him near the cheekbone. Apparently, Will's going to stay on the ball game. Right now, we have a moment. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
This is WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas. Monday is Oldies Night at the Sunset, 3608 South Cooper, Arlington. The Sunset.
Will staying in, and the players returning to their positions, along with Bill Hunter back to the dugout. Bill Ziegler also back over there. And the batter right now is Dennis Walling, the left fielder. He's nothing out of 2.
Walling.
One man on. A run was in on that play. An infield hit. Bad hop. There's a foul. Cut back to the screen. Strike one. So Houston coming back to make it a 5-3 ball game. A walk, a base hit. A wild pitch got a run, and then bad hop single. There's a curveball hit deep to left center field in a hurry is Benitez. He's on the move. They're not going to get that. Picks it up on the dead run off of the wall. Here's the throw to the infield. Coming on trying to score, and will do so standing. As the throw is cut off in the infield is Bergman. He scores from first base on a two-base wallop drilled in the alley in left center field. So a double makes it a 5-4 ball game. Well, let's check. 3 runs here in the inning. And a tie ball game it is now. Or am I wrong, John?
Well, the scoreboard has just put up a 5 spot, but it is 5-4.
I was thinking that they did not have that other run.
Second baseman Art.
See, Bill, this infield is really in miserable shape, and
well, they have not had the chance with the weather being such to work it like it needs to be. Here's a little tap heading toward Wills at second, off of the bat of Howe, grabbed by Wills, dished on over to Hargrove for the out. So a slow roller second base way off of the bat of Howe results in the out. Well, the Astros get 3 runs on 3 base hits. They strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning with the score now. Texas 5 and Houston 4.
Boy, it's really exciting being here at the Indy 500. What do they call this place?
The cafeteria.
Really?
You new here?
How can you tell?
You're wearing your racing helmet.
I'm practicing.
During lunch?
Practice makes perfect. Would you pass the salt?
Sure. So, what are you driving this year?
What do you think of that?
You're driving a piece of paper?
That's my Champion Indy 500 sweepstakes entry form.
Oh.
You can eat that roll.
Eventually.
Oh, well, Champion has won at Indy 38 times, and this year they're giving me the chance to win with the winner. To be eligible, all I do is pick a winner and fill out the entry form.
I noticed you filled it out in crayon.
Mom won't let me have any sharp objects.
Put down that spoon, okay?
For the first time in the history of the Indy 500, you have a chance to share in the excitement of winning an Indy. Champions Indy 500 sweepstakes. Anyone who is 16 or older is eligible to win prizes totaling $250,000 with a first prize of $25,000. No purchase necessary. Details and entry forms at participating Champion spark plug retailers. Offer void where prohibited by law.
Texas Ranger ticket agencies will begin operations on Monday, April 3rd, for the convenience of Ranger fans in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Ranger tickets will be available at all major Sears stores, including the Metroplex, Temple, Tyler, and Wichita Falls, all major Montgomery Ward stores, Preston Ticket Agency in Dallas, Amusement Ticket Service in Dallas and Fort Worth, Central Ticket Office in Fort Worth, North Star Pharmacy in Garland, Sun Rexall Drug in Richardson, and Citizen Travel Agency in Denison. Fans may also purchase tickets at Arlington Stadium from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, and from noon until 5 on Sunday. Additional information concerning Ranger tickets may be obtained by calling area code 817-273-5100 or by writing to Ticket Manager, Post Office Box 1111, Arlington, Texas. Zip code is 76010.
Leading off the Texas 5th. Number 6, the designated hitter, John Lowenstein.
John Lowenstein will start it off for the Rangers in the bottom of the 5th inning. John is homered in 2 trips. Takes a pitch up high at a notion, but laid off as the ball was up out of the strike zone for ball 1. Lowenstein, Washington, and Benitez slated to bat against right-hander Joe Niekro. Houston pulling up within 1 now. Rangers lead it by 5-4. Pitch darts off the mitt of Wilbur Howard. I don't imagine Wilbur really relishes the thought of being forced into catching a knuckleballer. As he came in as Ed Herman, hit on the hand by a bat. Had to be taken out of the ball game. Niekro ready. Here's a 2-0 delivery. Slips a fastball over, but it's down low, and the count is 3-0. So Lowenstein looks down third base way to see if Connie Ryan has anything for him. And hometowner Fred Koenig lives here in Tulsa, working up at first base. 3-0 pitch, a fastball. He lost him inside. Ball 4. So Lowenstein takes up station at first base. 4th walk given up by the right-hander. That'll bring to the plate Claudel Washington, who's not been able to solve the offerings of Niekro so far this afternoon, is struck out and hit back to the mound. Was tossed out. Up there with nobody down, and a runner on at first.
Claudel Washington.
Claudel came in today, hitting at 180. Of course, you baseball fans know he was injured in a basketball accident, twisting an ankle, spraining it. Looks at a high knuckler for ball one, and got underway a little late in spring training. John?
He said he was going to try a super-duper 360-degree turn slam dunk. He did it, held the rim, and came down crooked, and that's what he hurt himself.
Little tap back over the Malou. It's Beard. Benigro goes to the shortstop. One there, back to first. Pulled him off, and he's safe at first. Sexton had to cover, and the throw was a little bit high to Sexton covering on the force of John Lowenstein coming down, and then Sexton's throw up to first baseman Bergman pulled him to the inside off of the bag, and Washington, who can really run, was safe at first base on the fielder's choice. A 1-6 put out, and there's one gone.
I asked Claudel if, as soon as his ankle got better, if he was going to do that slam dunk again real soon. He said, no, probably not.
Well, you ought to tell him also it's illegal to hold on to the rim.
Technical foul.
Right. Here we go. Benikas, and he scored a run. Swings, bounces one slowly, third base way. Oop, off of the chest of Cabell, comes up and hits him in the nose. And all hands will be safe. Down to second moves Washington, and Benikas is on at first base. That's going to be scored as an error, but Cabell, immediately as he chased that ball down in foul ground, was reaching up and holding the nose, but apparently no worse for wear. And that is the third error committed by Houston this afternoon.
That's 3 balls now in this game. Campaneris had one hit him in the chest. Wills in the top of this inning. Now Cabell. Talking to Hargrove after he was hit in pregame practice, he said, you got to be crazy to stay down in the ball in this kind of an infield. And I think one by one, they're all learning that now.
Here's Sandy Alomar coming on to play for Wills, who was struck. Sandy up for the first time, check swing, and it kicks off foul. Sandy came in the ball game late innings yesterday and promptly had a base hit. He's a good man to come off of the bench. Well, I hear some more of that thunder. I hope the raindrops will stay away. Nonetheless, they have been able to get the ball game in. Rangers leading at 5-4. With one out, have a couple of men aboard. Walk and an error. High, and jumps out of the mitt of Howard. Stayed in the air, and he reached out and plucked it to keep it from getting by him, and holds the runners, both who can run and run well. Washington down at second, and Benikas on at first base.
That last pitch, when it got to home plate, looked like a balloon that had the air starting to fly out of it. Just took off.
Certainly did, and then jumped right off of the top of the mitt, but Howard grabbed it in midair. Here's the next pitch, Benigro. Hard fastball, and he swings, does Alomar, and misses. And the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, and 2 men aboard for the Rangers. Dixon may see some action this afternoon for Houston, along with Zamora. Rangers probably will pitch Comer. As the ball reached far and pop foul, third base side. Howard comes off of the mask, under it, and he has it for the out. So Wilbur Howard staying with a foul ball off of the bat of Alomar and grabs it for out number 2. That'll leave it right now up to Bert Campaneris. Bert coming over, having a couple of words with Howard, apparently pulling him on a little bit about chasing that foul ball down. Campaneris has walked and has singled, driven in a run. So he's 1 for 1 this afternoon. Also has scored a run. Bert hitting .250 with 4 runs batted in the springtime. Each ball club with 5 hits, and there's been a total of 5 errors. Some rocks in the infield. I noticed Hargrove, after he was struck, he went over and picked up that rock and threw it out of the ballpark over the right field wall. Hard swing by Campaneris, fails to pick up a breaking pitch from Necro, one of the rarities, but he will throw the fastball, and as John mentioned earlier, he's got a pretty good one. Wilbur Wood does not throw as hard as Necro. Actually, I think Wilbur uses his more as a changeup. Here's a strike delivery, bouncing ball, shortstop way. Up with it, Sexton goes over for the force out to Howe on the runner. Benikas coming down. So nothing doing here in the 5th inning for the Rangers. We go to the 6th with the score. Texas 5 and Houston 4.
Chee-chee Jack, Jack in the box. We're really cooking now. A jumbo jack, a Moby Jack, a bonus jack. A super scuba size, I have a breakfast jack. The onion rings, the natural thing, the secret sauce is still the bomb. The tacos really tackle, and the food never stops that Jack in the box. The food never stops that Jack in the box. Chee-chee Jack, Jack in the box. Now you're cooking, Jack.
Jack in the Box Restaurant.
In the box. We're really cooking now.
You weave people, fabrics, and ideas into the fashions the world is wearing season after season. It's your business. It's big business. And if you don't deliver the goods on time, nothing else counts. We understand. So at First National Bank in Dallas, when we do business with any business, we give you just what you expect from yourself. At First in Dallas, we give you results. Results. The real measure of a bank.
If your car needs a tune-up, here's one way you might start saving gasoline. Have your car's engine tuned at Bob Wilkerson Battery and Air Conditioning at their new location, 2900 West 6th Street, Fort Worth. They'll make sure you get your tune-up with quality AC Delco tune-up parts. Delco Ramey points and condensers are engineered to help give you responsive performance. They can save you gas, and that'll save you money. So get a tune-up today with quality AC Delco tune-up parts at Bob Wilkerson Battery and Air Conditioning at their new location, 2900 West 6th Street, Fort Worth.
Of the ball game. Would have been the leadoff batter, but up for the first time this afternoon will be Wilbur Howard. Wilbur Howard, who came on to replace starter Ed Herman, struck on the hand, will lead it off. Howard, a left-handed batter.
Number 26.
Wilbur hitting at 12. He's having a good game. Has appeared in 11 ball games now, and has 7 hits and 18 trips to the plate. Looks at one low for ball 1. Doc Ellis in touch for 5 base hits and 4 runs. Howard, a left-handed swinger, has him up and shading off to the right side. Sends a fly ball high and fairly deep that Al Oliver drifts over into left center, gets under it, and grabs it in front of the 370 sign for the first out. So a high, lazy fly off of the bat of Howard retires the first man here in the 6th inning. Jimmy Sexton, right-handed hitting shortstop, will bat. He's hitting .222 in the spring.
Number 24, shortstop Jimmy Sexton.
Outfield playing him just about straight away. They bunch a little bit towards center on him. Enfield straight away, and Doc Ellis comes to him with a fastball off the corner, ball 1. John, who's going to be the opening day pitcher for the Rangers?
Looks like John Matlack and Ron Guidry will battle it out on Saturday.
A couple of pretty fair left-handers.
Not bad.
Here's the 1-0 delivery and a breaking pitch right in at the knees for a call strike. 1-1. Ellis keeps that ball down on most occasions. He'll nibble around the edges and does a good job when he has that control, which he normally has. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch stays in sight on him, and it's 2-1. And the right-handed hitter steps out, looks to Pacheco to see what he might have in mind at third base. 2-1 the count. 1 man gone. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that's a sharp breaker, but way out of the strike zone. Count moves along to 3 balls, 1 strike. Excuse me, go ahead.
John Matlack has really had a good spring, and he's a classy ball player.
Certainly.
He's got a classic windup, and he got bumped around a little bit in the last inning he pitched in Baton Rouge, but his first 5 innings, and then last Sunday against Cincinnati, just dynamite. He's always around the plate, makes him hit it on the ground or pop it up. He's a fine pitcher, a real technician.
Here's the 3-1 delivery. Breaking ball is right in. Full count, 3-2. And Sexton was ready to start toward first base, but plate umpire Joe West said a strike it is, and it's a full count. Speaking of Matlack, he also wants to prove something as a result of things that happened to him last year. Missing inside with a fastball is Ellis, and Sexton goes to first base on the walk. The 5th given up by Ellis this afternoon. So there's 1 on, the tie run with 1 out. And we head to the top of the order, and Terry Poole, center fielder. He's nothing out of 3. Has been aboard and scored a run, the result of an error in the 3rd inning. A left-handed batter, hitting .278. He appeared in 60 games for Houston last year. From the belt, a check by Ellis, and the pitch, fastball, swung and a miss. Ran that one away from the left-handed batter. Count of a strike. Well, we got the ball game in. Rangers leading it right now 5-4 as we play on the top of the 6th inning. There was some doubts as the throw goes over to first base just to keep Sexton fairly close. Hargrove holds against him. Enfield with 1 out has set up and double play depth. Hera near the grass, third base. Ball is swung on and trickles foul off to the right. And Doc Ellis works in front as the leadoff batter. Center fielder Terry Poole batting. 1 out and 1 on. Scoring came early for the Rangers today. They got run in the second inning, a couple in the third, and a couple in the fourth. Here's the 0-2 delivery by Ellis. Ooh, he almost hit him. And the batter, Poole, had to do an adagio. Well, it did tip him. Yep, it did tag him just barely, and Poole goes on down to first base, being hit by the pitch. That'll move the tying run over to second base in the person of Jimmy Sexton. So Ellis has hit a man, and he has two runners aboard with only one out, and he's going to be looking at the meat part of the batting order right now. Enoch Cabell. He's nothing out of three. He's grounded out twice and popped to short. 2 on, 1 out. Enfield looking for the double play ball. Hara even with the bag at third. Pinch and around second a little bit for the right-handed batter. Ellis slows down the tempo. He will work extremely fast with nobody aboard, but Sundberg will slow him down when he gets men aboard. Here's a look. Runners move. The ball is taken right down the middle. Throw goes to third. He is safe at third. Not a double steal. The runner at first held on, and Sexton swipes third. That throw came in a little bit low, but it was scooped up by Hara, but the ball bounced up. And as it bounced up, Hara had to take it a little bit higher than he normally would like to have, and the runner slid right beneath it for a stolen base. That's something you won't see too often as anyone stealing third base on Sundberg, but Sexton got a great jump on pitcher Doc Ellis. So runners now at first and third, a 1-strike count on Cabell. Ty run is over at third base, and Ellis works. Slow tap, reaching for a low delivery and fouling it to strike 2. John?
Well, a lot of base runners will tell you sometimes it's easier to steal third base than second, especially with a right-handed hitter up there. The catcher doesn't have a real good look at third in the first place, and a lot of times the pitcher really won't work that hard at keeping a man close at second base. You can get a much bigger lead over there. In fact, you never have a guy standing right on the bag to hold you over there. But he still had him, I think. The throw was there, but a little bit low, as you said, as you described it. And Hara had to come up a little bit with the glove, and just as he did, he slid under it.
All right, here's Ellis' next delivery. Hit right off of the fist. Slow tap's going to be trouble. Hara charge, and he'll have no play. So an infield tap right down the third base side. Hara charging from third, grabbed it. Look, no play anywhere. And an infield hit has tied the ball game at 5. Coming on to score Sexton from third. Poole goes over to second, and Cabell gets his 5th RBI of the year on an infield tap. So it's a 5-5 ball game. 7th hit given up by Ellis this afternoon.
Number 28.
And that will bring on Cedeno. He has doubled, been on an error, and walked. Scored a run, driven in a run. Had a double in the first inning. Well, that was one of those deals you do or you don't, and by the time Hara could charge that ball, get in to pick up, he looked, but he had no play. Go-ahead run at second. Cedeno starts to go and checks and does so in time on a pitch that's inside. Now an appeal, and it's a ball. 1-0. Tie ball game, and the Astros have been chopping away here in the middle innings. After being down, they've come back to tie it up at 5. Ellis still in trouble. Breaking ball, kicks off of the shin guard of Sundberg, rolls to the right, but no advancement by Poole down at second, nor Cabell at first base. Count of 2-0. Breaking pitch low outside, and it hit off of the heel of the catcher's mitt and then struck the shin guard of Sundberg and drifted off some 20 feet quickly to the right side, but Jim alertly grabbed it, and no advance for the base runners. Cruz is on deck, and Ellis comes to the plate. High fly ball way out there in right field. Washington has this one under control and grabs it. No advance by the runners. So Cedeno and out on a high lift to right field. 2 men out. Here's Cruz.
One more, let's go.
Jose Cruz walked in the first, singled in the third, again singled in the 5th inning. 2 for 2 and has scored a run. Ellis now working with 2 on and 2 out. A run is in.
Number 25, the right fielder.
A hit
2 for 2
batter.
and a walk, Jose Cruz.
An infield tap for a base hit has produced the tie run here at the top of the 6th inning. Cruz, a left-handed batter, 2 for 2, and he was hitting .371 coming in this afternoon. Ellis checks the runners, delivers. Fastball, it just misses on the inside, ball 1. John, you're going to line up your predictions as to who's going to win and be ready to give us all that information the first day of the season.
Well, I was thinking maybe waiting a few months.
Oh, what, like the 1st of October?
I've had such a good streak here the last month with predictions.
Yeah, you really came through well on that basketball. There's a little changeup. It looked like Doc threw a knuckler up there. Missing inside for ball 2. Bergman is the on-deck batter. Should Cruz be able to keep it alive for the Astros? Rangers 5 runs on 5 hits. Astros 5 runs on 7 base hits. 5 errors in the ball game. The Astros have 3. Here's the next delivery. Low inside. And Ellis falls behind 3-0, so he's only a pitch away from loading the bases. Tell you what, Birdsong and I enjoyed your prognostication on the basketball so much. We just went the other way, and every time. You were right. You make a fortune. Check swing inside, the bases loaded. Ball 4. That'll send Poole over to third base. Down to second goes Cabell. And Cruz, for the 4th time, is on this afternoon. 2 walks and a couple of base hits. That's walk number 6 given up by Ellis. And Dave Bergman, who has walked, struck out, and singled, driven in a run, and scored a run, will be the batter with the bases loaded. So he's up there right now to do some real damage with 2 outs. Ellis works from the stretch, delivers a pitch that's through for a strike at the knees. Well, the sun's out right now, and looks like it might be clearing off a little bit back toward the west. So I don't think they're going to have any problems, maybe, getting the ball game in. It's tied right now. Base is loaded. Ellis in a lot of trouble. Steve Comer is warming as the pitch strike call. That's strike 2. So Doc comes in with 2 quick strikes at the knees.
Put these guys down. We got Texas.
Ellis strike away from getting out of a lot of trouble. From the belt, here's the pitch. Fastball, reach far, tap to left field. Oliver in a hurry, can't get it. 1 run is in. Oliver will make the play to third. Another run is coming on in to score, and the Astros lead it 7-5. So Bergman reached out and went with the pitch, simply tapped it on a line into left field, and drives in a couple of runs. Poole from third comes on to score. Cabell from second base, and down to second, holding there is Cruz, and Dave Bergman with a single has driven in 2 runs, his third of the afternoon, and Houston vaults in front 7-5. John?
Best day Bergman's had all spring, and came in today after 16 games with only 4 runs batted in and only 6 base hits. And 2 hits today and 3 runs batted in now.
So he's got a total of 7 overall now, and he's had hits that have produced runs the last couple of times. So the Astros keep it going, and here's Dennis Walling, the left fielder, left-handed batter. He has doubled in 3 trips. Hit 1 in the alley in left center. Last trip up. Ellis works him outside and low. Ball 1. Down at second, Jose Cruz Bergman on at first base, who had the big blow here in the inning. And that moved Houston in front by a 7-5 count. 8 hits now given up by Ellis. There's a ball wrapped on the ground. Hargrove's way at first. He'll grab it, feeds it over to Ellis. In time for the out. 3-1 for the putout. But the Astros have done the damage. 3 runs on only a couple of base hits. They strand a couple. And we move to the bottom of the 6th inning with the score now. Houston 7 and Texas 5.
Picture Hawaii. Picture yourself in Hawaii. Picture yourself on a Tradewind tour to Hawaii. Now that's a vacation. Tradewind Tours has been offering vacations to the islands longer than any other Hawaii tour company. And now, Tradewind Tours offers you the world. What's your pleasure? Mexico, the Orient, the South Pacific, and in 1978, how about Europe? Tell your travel agent you want to explore the world of Tradewind Tours, because Tradewind Tours is Hawaii and the world.
It's amazing what a fresh coat of ceiling paint will do to brighten a room. And that's a good place to start your spring cleaning and painting. At your Cook Paint Decorating Center, you'll find the kind of ceiling paint you need for the texture or finish you want. Then for the walls and trim, a fantastic color selection and your choice of paints. There are all sorts of color samples and how-to-do-it booklets to help you. And your cook man is always ready to advise you on how to do the job easiest and best. Cook Paint, a good place to start your bright ideas for spring decorating.
Would you like to win 2 free tickets to a Ranger game of your choice? If so, send a postcard to Ranger First Run Contest, First National Bank of Fort Worth. Post Office Box 2260, Fort Worth. And the zip code is 76101. That's the Ranger First Run Contest, First National Bank of Fort Worth. Post Office Box 2260, Fort Worth, Texas, 76101. Jim Sundberg will start it off for the Rangers here in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Rangers now find themselves trailing for the first time. Sundberg has failed to hit in one official trip to the plate. Been aboard on an interference call. He'll be followed by Hargrove and Hera. And Joe Niekro is slated to work here in inning number 6. We're getting a little activity down in Houston's side in the bullpen. Steve Comer working the bullpen. Swung on the first pitch and a high fly ball to shallow right. And coming on is Cruz. He's under it, and the right fielder grabs it for the first out. Sundberg acted as though he would like to have recalled that swing, kind of a check swing, and hit a high pop to shallow right field for the out. Ellis going 6 innings this afternoon, 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which were earned. Struck out 1 and walked 6, and also hit a batter and uncorked a wild pitch. Here's Hargrove. Mike snapping out a 3.
Hargrove.
Struck out in the first, grounded out in the third, and hit a fly ball to left field in the 4th inning. Left-hander batter, hitting .255. Springtime. Niekro ready and delivers that knuckler through for a call strike. Jumps out of the mitt, catcher Howard. And Wilbur chases it down off to the right side. Steve Comer will be coming in for the Rangers, and Tulsa fans here know him well. Here's Niekro ready with the next delivery. Little high. Kind of a ball to strike on Mike Hargrove. 1 out as Sundberg open with a fly to right field. Bottom of the 6th, 7-5 Houston. Ball wrapped on the ground. Art Howe from second darts over to his left, makes the grab, feeds it on over to Berkman, and 2 minutes, then retired. Hargrove hit a 1 hopper to the second baseman Howe, and he tosses out Mike for the second out, and that'll bring to the plate Toby Hera. Hera has grounded out, walked, scored a run, single, driven in a run. So he's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Toby has not hit well this spring, hitting at 143 coming in. However, he has 6 runs batted in. First pitch is low for ball 1. Al Oliver is on deck. Only 1 change so far in the Ranger lineup, and that is Alomar in at second. There's a hard swing as Hera tried to pick up his first homer of the spring, and he missed it. Count of 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck is Oliver. Right-hander ready, and in comes the pitch. Breaking ball. It gets right over. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Niekro changed him up a little bit and fed him a breaking pitch over the outside edge. Niekro ready. Fastball ripped to right center. A long run by the center fielder. Poole, he's there in the corner. Reaches up, pulls it down for the out. So a fly to center. Retires the side at the end of 6. Still, Houston 7 and Texas 5.
Motorists, don't stall around. Come to Johnny's Discount Auto Supply, Garland, Richardson, Wiley, and Roulette, and get everything you need to tune your car. Start with Champion spark plugs, because a tune-up with new Champions can help you save 1 to 2 gallons of gas per tank full. A healthy savings these days. You'll find everything you need for a tune-up, plus expert advice at Johnny's Discount Auto Supply, Garland, Richardson, Wiley, and Roulette. Parts, test equipment, and of course Champions to help you save 1 to 2 gallons of gas per tank full.
Goble says save now on Demco Posture Mattress and Box Spring Set at Trailer Furniture, Terrell, Texas.
Steve Comer being introduced as one of the changes, and to tell us about the rest of them and the rest of the game, again, here's John Miller. John?
Thank you, Bill. As Bill mentioned, a few changes here, about 14. We've got a new pitcher, a new catcher, a new first baseman, a new shortstop, a new third baseman, a new left fielder, and a new right fielder. Now, in 10 seconds, tell me who they are.
Leading off the Houston 7, number 18, second baseman Art.
All right, we'll work on him. Here's Art Howe, leads it off for the Astros. He swings, and it's a high pop-up, foul ground, third base side. That one is well out of play. Steve Colbert on the mound. John Ellis, the new catcher. Mike Jorgensen, the new first baseman. Sandy Alomar still over at second. Jim Mason now at shortstop. Kurt Bavacqua now at third. In left field is Dave May. Juan Beniquez stays in center. And the new right fielder is Bobby Thompson. And we have a Timeout called here as Bobby Thompson comes running in from right field, and he's going to get the sunglasses now as it was overcast when he went out there, and the sun all of a sudden burst forth again. And now they say, well, we don't have any sunglasses. What do we need sunglasses for? It's overcast. He says, yeah, but the sun just came out. Is it too bad? All right, 1 strike to count to Art Howe. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. The right-hander Comer delivers, swung out and fouled back out of play to the right side. Count, no balls, 2 strikes. Howe to be followed by Wilbur Howard and then the shortstop Jimmy Sexton. Those are the first 3 due up here in the 7th inning. 7-5, the Astros lead. Comer rocks, 2-strike pitch. Slider misses wide. A ball and 2 strikes. Comer, born in Minneapolis, is 24 years of age, 6'3", 195. Tell you have to be about 6'3" to make this pitching staff this season. There's a curveball that doesn't take, misses high and inside, 2-2. Umbarger's the tallest at 6'6". Got a few guys 6'5", 6'4", 6'3". 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He blew a fastball by him. So Comer strikes out the first man he faces, and that will bring up catcher Wilbur Howard. And now Jim Schaefer, one of the Rangers coaches, the bullpen coach, comes running out. He found a pair of sunglasses, and he brings them out to Bobby Thompson at right field. And now second baseman Sandy Alomar says, you know, that was a good idea. He gets a pair, and I think Mike Jorgensen would like a pair. So we have another break in the action while they bring the sunglasses out here. Jim, where are our sunglasses? Yeah, we don't need sunglasses. It's overcast. Wilbur Howard, 0 for 1. He came on when Ed Herman was injured. Back in the 4th inning. It was a pitch out that was not out far enough, and Jim Sundberg protecting the runner who was running. Swung at the ball, and Ed Herman was too close to home plate, and he took the swing in his left hand. Here's Wilbur Howard swinging left-handed. He lifts a high foul fly to the left side, back out of play, 0-1. John Ellison at catcher, as we mentioned. Ellis really hit a bomb out of here in batting practice. 1-strike pitch swung on, a high drive to deep right center field. Thompson going over, but now the center fielder Beniquez looking up into the sunshine, makes the catch. He was shading the eyes with the glove and grabbed it in right center field. 2 gone. Ellis hit one a ton out of here, halfway to Oklahoma City. And Billy Hunter, in jest, was out of left field, and he said, who hit that ball? Who hit that ball?
Number 24, shortstop Jimmy Sexton.
Here's the pitch to Sexton, low for a ball. So Ellis jumped out of the batting cage and said, it's me, Coach, your favorite. There's a fastball that misses a bit high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Looks good to me.
Well, Ellis hits a few balls like he hit in batting practice. He will be a favorite. There's a swing and a pop-up. Third base side, Bavacqua drifting into foul ground, waits for it, and makes the catch. So an impressive 7th inning by Steve Comer. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's Houston 7 and Texas 5.
It's a fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you. A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevy Malibu.
Have we got a wagon for you, America? The name is Malibu, and it's chock full of new. Crisp new looks, trim new size, and a handy new 2-way hatchgate you're just gonna love.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevy Malibu.
It's a wagon for America the way we are today. Slim on the outside, but roomy on the inside, with lots and lots of load space, plus some hidden storage, too.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevy Malibu.
And you know what else, America? You're going to find it's a real kick to drive, and no trick at all to slip into those stinged little parking places. Some wagons would have to pass right by. Sound good? You better believe it.
A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
Stop by your local Chevrolet wagon stop and see what Chevy's serving up.
A fresh new slice of apple pie
Delicious.
called Chevy Malibu. A new friend of the family called Chevy Malibu. A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet.
Well, next Sunday, 1 week from today, April the 9th, is poster day at Arlington Stadium. All fans entering the park with a paid admission receive a giant poster with an artist's drawing of 5 of your favorite Ranger players. These posters also feature the entire 1978 Ranger schedule. These posters are a courtesy of the friendly folks at Red Carpet Realty.
So make your plans now to be on hand next Sunday, April the 9th, on Red Carpet Poster Day. They'll also have the New York Yankees that day, which is extra added attraction besides that. The Yankees in next Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and Monday night. Remember the night ball games at Arlington Stadium, 7:35 starting time. Now, the Saturday ball game will have a late start because it is on NBC and is part of a doubleheader on the network. It'll start at 3:05. The next Sunday's game, the Poster Day game, will be at 2:05. And then the last three games of the homestand, one with the Yankees on Monday and then two with the Detroit Tigers Tuesday and Wednesday, will all be at 7:35 starts. We're in the bottom of the seventh inning now, and Dave May leads it off for the Texas Rangers on in left field in the top of this inning in place of Al Oliver. May, stocky left-handed swinger to face the new pitcher, Tom Dixon. Curveball, Nubber, second base side, takes the high hop to Art Howe, and he throws him out, one gone. That'll bring up designated hitter John Lowenstein. Thomas Earl Dixon, 6 foot, 183, purchased by the Astros from the St. Louis Cardinals in 1975. Last year was 13-4 at Charleston, 2.25 earned run average. And then in 9 games with the Astros, 4 starts, he won 1, lost none with a 3.3 earned run average. Throws a fastball to Lowenstein, wide, ball 1. Bobby Thompson is on deck. Dixon from Orlando, Florida. 1-0 pitch. Curve over the outside for a strike. 1-1. Lowenstein homered in the second, bounced out in the third, and walked in the fifth. He's 1 for 2. 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for Houston. 5 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for Texas. Dixon's 1-1 offering, swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Got him with a breaking ball. Texas at one point led this game 5-1, but the Astros got 3 runs each in the 5th and 6th inning. 1-2 pitch. Fastball caught the outside corner, strike 3 call. Lowenstein turns around and glares at plate umpire Joe West. But he'll walk back to the dugout, 1 for 3. That brings up Bobby Thompson. Voted the rookie of the spring training camp down in Florida. As well he might have been. Now hitting .326. 1 home run, 9 runs batted in, 7 stolen bases.
Number 48, the new right fielder, Bobby Thompson.
Get something going now.
Thompson swings left-handed, very fast runner. Takes a slider inside, ball 1. Third baseman Cabell plays him right on the edge of the infield grass. Outfield pretty much straight away, shading him a bit toward right field. First baseman Bergman is hugging the line and playing deep. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. The Astros, who are given a shot for the Cinderella role in the National League West, and they'll have plenty of opportunity to prove if they're going to be a contender or not as they play the Dodgers and Reds for about the first month of the season. There's a strike to Thompson. They open up next Thursday at Cincinnati, play 4 there. Then they come back to the Dome to meet the Dodgers 3 times, and then Cincinnati 3 times. So their first 10 games are against the Dodgers in Cincinnati. Strike 2 call to Thompson, 2-2. Then they head on to the West Coast. They play San Diego twice, and then they play the Dodgers 4 more times. So 14 of their first 16 games are against the Reds and the Dodgers. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Thompson, 2 outs, nobody on. The curve misses outside, 3-2. Thursday afternoon, in fact, at Riverfront Stadium, J.R. Richard, Tom Seaver will duel. 3-2 pitch is swung on and popped down the left field line. Coming in a hurry is Walling. He's there, and in shallow left, he puts it away. So, for the second consecutive inning, it's 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the 8th. Houston 7, Texas 5.
Enjoy the big taste of Guy's potato chips. They team up with snacks, sandwiches, or drinks, and they're good just any old time. Guy's are the real fresh chips, not dried, mashed, rolled, or processed. So when it comes to real chips, go with the big guy. Guy's real potato chips.
Enjoy a real slice of American life. Good Guy's potato chips. Don't forget the Guy's real potato chips.
When you're looking for a way to lighten your day, to brighten your day, think of pride. Flying away to the taste of yesterday, the old-fashioned flavor of pride. When the work is done, a day in the sun is a lot more fun if you try. Loading up and away to the taste of yesterday, the old-fashioned flavor of pride.
Taylor Auto Supply, 5025 East Belknap, Fort Worth, thinks you should know that short trips in your automobile can make your engine oil dirty, which is why you should change your oil and oil filter on a mileage or time basis, whichever comes first. So think months, not just miles. And come in to see the good guys at Taylor Auto Supply, 5025 East Belknap, Fort Worth, about changing your oil and oil filter. Get quality engine protection today with an AC oil filter at Taylor Auto Supply.
Number 21, center fielder Terry Jewell.
Hitting number 8, Terry Poole, to start it off for the Astros, and the top of the batting order will face Steve Comer. There's a slider swung on and missed, 0-1. Steve Comer lives in Excelsior, Minnesota. Was 6-4 at Tucson last year after being 7-6.
The game continues at the beginning of side 4 after a 60-second delay.
Here in Tulsa, 13-10 overall. Misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike. This is really only his 3rd year in Major League ball, or well, in professional ball. Swung on and fouled at the plate. That comes down and hits Puel in the foot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got in only 9 games in 1976 at Sarasota. Went 7-2 with a 0.90 earned run average. He is 24 years of age. And he graduated from the University of Minnesota. Non-roster player, he's on the roster now. Fastball low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Enos Cabell and Cesar Cedeno, the next 2 Astro hitters, slated to bat in the 8th. 2-2 pitch, way outside. Tried to turn that one over, but it never did take. 3-2. Poole is 0 for 3 today, but a fairly productive 0 for 3. He scored 2 runs. Pitch. He lost him. Ball 4, fastball low. So Poole, who hasn't had a hit, is now on the bases for the 3rd time today. That is the 7th Houston player to draw a free pass, and an 8th player was hit by a pitch.
Third baseman Enos Cabell.
And the Rangers have allowed 2 more base runners by committing errors, although it was hardly the fault of the fielders with the tough fielding conditions on the infield. Here's the pitch to Cabell. Fastball. That one really took off in the inside corner. Strike 1. Cabell is 1 for 4 today. Got an RBI single back in the 6th. That brought home the tying run of the ball game. Runner at first is Poole. He's got speed. Jorgensen holds against him. Comer comes to the plate. Curve inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So he threw the fastball inside, then comes back with a curve inside. Len Barker throwing down the left field line. We'll probably see the big right-hander, the fireballer in the 9th inning. Comer with a lob throw to first, and Poole is back. Well, the Rangers hoping that a few of their batters who are in pretty good slumps all through the springtime will catch fire here in the final week of the spring going into the regular season. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and lined to left field. It's in front of Dave May. Base hit. Cabell got a fastball out over the plate that time, and he rode it hard to left field. Poole goes to second, hangs on. And that is hit number 9 for the Astros. And they've now had in this ball game 19 base runners. They stranded 8, and Jim Sundberg wiped out 2 who tried to steal against him. Here's Cesar Cedeno. Cedeno is 1 for 3 in the game, a double, but he's been safe on an error, and he's walked. He's scored 1, and he's driven home 1. Runners at first and second, nobody out. There's a curveball, gets by John Ellis, back to the screen, and both runners will move up a base. Comer put that curveball in the dirt. And I imagine he'll go with a wild pitch call. So now Comer's really worked himself into a jam. Runners at second and third, nobody out, and the Astros' best hitter up. Cesar Cedeno. He hit about 340 after the All-Star break last year. When you look at the size of the contract they gave him, I think they figure he might hit 340 one day for 162 games. There's a curve, a big swing and a miss. He didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Comer threw a wicked-looking curveball that time. Changed speeds with it, and Cedeno tried to send that one back to the Astrodome. 1 ball and 1 strike. With runners at second and third, the Rangers have brought the infield halfway in. Not completely into the edge of the infield grass. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, shot foul, third base side, and into the Rangers' dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jose Cruz on deck. Cedeno's had years where he's hit as high as 320. Better than 20 home runs. He's always around 50, 60 stolen bases. Fine center fielder. When he finally puts it all together in one season, it's going to be quite a year. Comer at the belt, 1-2 pitch. Got him fishing at a slider on the outside. He struck him out. Boy, that pitch was about 1.5 feet outside. The good, hard-breaking slider that time by Comer. And Cedeno went after it. So 1 is out. Runners still at second and third. And here's Jose Cruz, and I think they might put Cruz on here. Yes, they are. Ball 1 outside. This is a guy you got to put on, left-handed swinger, who's killed the Rangers for 3 consecutive days. Today, he's 2 for 2 with 2 walks. Scored a run. Yesterday, he was 3 for 5. Here's ball 2. Dave Bergman is the man on deck, actually walking a left-handed batter to get to a left-handed batter. But Cruz came into the game hitting 371. He's probably up over 400 by now, and Bergman came into the game hitting 166. And yet, the man they
Bases loaded for number 16.
have walked here.
Dave Bergman with 3 RBIs today.
To get to Bergman, well, Bergman, the man they apparently want to pitch to, has 2 base hits and 3 RBIs today. That's right. He drove in the 2 runs that put Houston over the top. Bases loaded from the stretch. There's a swing and a miss. A good low fastball on the outside. Comer put it right there. 0-1. Bergman 2 for 3, scored 1, and driven home 3 runs. And his base hit in the 6th inning, bringing home Terry Poole and Enos Cabell, and that's the difference right now. 7-5 Houston. An Astro at every base. The 1-strike pitch, wide. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Talking earlier about Cedeno, almost perennial Gold Glove winner. Last year he made only 1 error and didn't.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, shot to right field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Cabell around third. Bobby Thompson will throw to third. It's cut off. Cabell scores, 2 runs in for the Astros, and Bergman has 5 RBIs for the day, and it's 9-5 Houston.
He still wants to play. Now, I started to say about Cedeno last year, he only made 1 error and did not receive the Gold Glove.
Well, who got it last year?
Well,
Bergman now 3 for 4.
Must have had a pretty good season.
Yeah. Apparently didn't make any errors.
Well, when was it? 74. Don Money of the Brewers, I think, set a record for fewest errors in a season by a third baseman.
Certainly did.
Brooks Robinson made 3 or 4 times as many errors, and he still won it.
Well, Spencer, a number of years, been the best fielder error-wise.
Here's Walling, swung on. There's a drive to left center field. That's going to fall in. Base hit. Cruz comes in to score. Heading to third is Bergman. Benica's throw is cut off, and it's 10-5. Walling just reaches out and swats one into left center. So the Astros now scored 3 runs in the 8th inning, and it's a 10-5 ball game. Bergman to third,
Walling with his second hit and his second RBI of the day. So a 10-5 Astro lead, and there's still only one out here in the 8th inning, and that brings up Art Howe.
Started to mention about Jim Spencer. We used to kid him about he'd make fewer errors. Never selected. Last year he made more errors than he ever has and got the Gold Glove.
Ball 1 to Howe. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, besides being a good fielder, you have to have that reputation as being a good fielder, I think. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped foul off to the right. That'll go back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Of course, John, it's not all based on, how many errors they make. Some players don't make that many because they don't make that many outstanding plays where they really have to go hard after a ball.
Here's the lead at first from the stretches. Comer. 1-1 pitch, slider low. 2 balls and a strike. Poole led off with a walk. Cabell singled. After Cedeno struck out, and a wild pitch had put runners at second and third. Cruz walked intentionally. Bergman singled for 2 runs. Walling singled for 1 run. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball low. 3-1. So now Comer's going to have to come in with 1. Howe has a look at third base coach Tony Pacheco. Big pitch for Comer to make here. Bergman at third, Walling at first, 1 out. 10-5 Houston. Infield double play deep. Jorgensen holds the runner at first. 3-1 pitch swung on. A high fly ball to fairly deep center field. Beniquez waits for it. Makes the catch. Bergman tags at third, and he'll score easily. And it's an 11-5 game. So Howe picks up the RBI. 4 runs in the inning for the Astros. Boy, Houston's bats, which have been quiet most of the spring, have gotten well the last couple of days. They beat Texas yesterday 8-1. Had 10 or 12 base hits in that one, and now they put a big 11 up on the board today. Here's Wilbur Howard. He's 0 for 2 since coming on for Ed Herman. Left-handed swinger. 2 outs and Walling at first. Pitch, fastball low, ball 1. Paul Lindblad on the disabled list. As of, well, let's see, he last pitched Wednesday, and he hurt himself over at West Palm Beach pitching against the Braves. 1-0 pitch swung on, foul on the ground, first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Tom Buskey released. I understand Buskey caught on with the Toronto Blue Jays and is on his way to Dunedin, Florida.
That's right, and Tom did not pitch that badly in the spring, so he might be able to help Toronto.
1-1 pitch, fastball tails away for the left-handed swinger. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Billy Hunter, who's been a coach low these many years, said that yesterday was the first time that in his career he'd ever had to tell a player that he was being released. There's a swing by Howard and foul tips it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he said it was one of the toughest things he's ever had to do.
Bill mentioned that he would love for some of the front office people to have made it in time to do that. Sure, that's something nobody likes to do.
Runner at first, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Howard. 4 runs in the 8th inning for the Astros. Curve is hit off the fist. Foul, and look out, Bill. Thought we were going to have a shot at a souvenir there. We're sitting right under the screen here. They've got more like netting coming back from the backstop, and that one looked like it was going to pop right off the top of the netting and right down on us. 2-2. Runner leads. Comer at the belt. The pitch swung on and bounced foul, first base side. Astros have a right-hander working down the right field line.
Should be Zamora, probably.
Looks like Bo McLaughlin, a big right-hander.
There is.
Barker still down in the left field bullpen working for Texas. We'll probably see him in the 9th inning. Again, Comer at the belt. 2-2 pitch, fastball outside. 3-2. And now Walling will take off with this pitch. 11-5. The Astros, who trailed once in this game, 5-1. With 3 in the 6th, and after 3 in the 5th, and 4 here in the 8th. There goes the runner. The pitch is swung on, foul-tipped, and held on to by Ellis. Howard is retired on strikes, and finally the inning is over. But 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 left after 7.5. Houston 11, Texas 5.
The day is done.
Coming home.
It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. So just say bud. And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of bud feels like an easy chair when you say Budweiser.
Yeah, Budweiser. Absolutely the best way to call it a day. Any day. You know what I mean.
When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Before we go to the bottom half of inning number 8, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Texas Rangers Baseball Network.
This is WBAP 820, Fort Worth, Dallas.
When it comes to Ranger baseball coverage, the Dallas Times-Herald covers all the bases and brings it home every time.
John Miller along with Bill Merrill from Tulsa, Oklahoma today, where the Houston Astros are sticking it to the Texas Rangers for the second day in a row, leading now 11-5 as we go to the last of the 8th inning. A reminder again, the Arlington Chamber of Commerce is hosting a Victory Ranger Luncheon on Monday, April 10th, 1 week from tomorrow. At the end of the Six Flags, it's the kickoff luncheon for the 1978 baseball season. The whole Ranger team will be there, and when you purchase a table of 10, you can select your favorite Ranger player as your guest. Tickets are on sale now at Arlington Chamber of Commerce. The phone number is 275-2613. All tickets must be purchased in advance and are on a first-come, first-served basis. That's the Rangers on the Victory Luncheon Monday, April the 10th. 275-2613, the number to call. Juan Benitez left in the ball game to get another few cuts at the plate against right-hander Tom Dixon. Dixon retired the Rangers in order in the 7th. Throws a high curve ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Joe Niekro's final inning was a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 6th, and Dixon's only inning was 3-up, 3-down. So the Rangers haven't had a base runner since the 5th. 1-0 pitch, too high with a fastball, 2-0. Sandy Alomar will follow, and then probably Jim Mason. So we'll take a look at how they put the batting order. Probably straight up. That's been the way they've been doing it. Swing at a high fastball and foul back out of play. Look out, Bill. That's right behind us here. Boy. Thought that one was back out in the parking lot somewhere. Looked up, and there's this thing coming right for my nose. Bill, I thought you were going to protect me from those. When you jumped under the table there, you were just telling me that's what I should do, right?
Right.
Okay. 2 balls and a strike to Benitez. Why does anybody try to catch a foul ball in the stands? 2-1, the count to 1. He steps out now on Dixon. Roger Moret is loosening up down the left field line for the Rangers now, getting some work in. 2-1 delivery. Slider got him swinging, 2-2. Good hard slider that broke sharply at the end there. 2-2. Benitez has had trouble with the breaking ball. J.R. Richard had a slider yesterday that wouldn't quit. Gave the Rangers fits. 2-2 pitch. Little ground ball, third base side, foul. Connie Ryan fields it flawlessly in the third base coach's box. Fred Koenig over at first. This is hometown country for Fred Koenig. 2-2 to Benitez, and the pitch. Swung on, little number, foul again at the plate. Another breaking ball. Take a look at the Rangers starters, and the batting average is not too good. Benitez 227, Campaneris 250, Hargrove 255, Harrell 143, Oliver 284, Sundberg 269, Washington 190, Zisk 148. There's a comebacker, 2 hops. Dixon fields it off the mound and throws him out at first. Benitez retired for out number 1, and now the Rangers have had 9 consecutive batters retired in this one. That'll bring up Sandy Alomar. He fouled out to the catcher, his first at bat in the 5th.
Number 2, the Ranger second baseman.
I saw in the paper today where Johnny Bench and Joe Morgan were having their miseries for the Cincinnati Reds. One of them was hitting .086 and the other one was hitting .062. I think Morgan was at .062. Alomar, switch hitter, swinging left-handed, hits one off the fist, foul, back out of play, 0-1. Well, you know that Joe Morgan and Johnny Bench are going to be there when the bell rings, and you know that Richie Zisk and these Ranger batters are going to be there. A lot of fellows who hit 400 in the springtime don't hit half that once the bell rings. 1 strike to Alomar. Down it comes. Fastball, high fly ball to left field.
almost in his tracks is Walling, looking up, and he makes the catch. 10 consecutive Ranger batters have been retired now. And Jim Mason will bat for the first time in the ball game. Mason from Mobile, Alabama, 171 springtime average. He's the best Rangers shortstop off the bench. Strong throwing arm. Alomar played every infield position at some time last year and even played the outfield on occasion. There's a ground ball to first, fielded over there by Bergman. He takes it himself, and just like that, the Rangers are gone. 3 up and 3 down, and we'll go to the ninth from Tulsa, Oklahoma, with the score. Houston 11, Texas 5.
Gas yourself. Gas yourself. For the BS, gas yourself.
Some people think you gotta have muscle to get gas yourself. You just gotta be cool, that's all. 'Cause there's nothing slicker, nothing quicker than gas yourself at Vickers. And they got regular, unleaded, and premium. My cousin Lance Goebel can do it, and he thinks cool as snowshoes in bed. So you know the only muscle he's got is between his ears.
Look for that dealer Vickers sign. Gas yourself.
Thank you for joining us for this Texas Rangers baseball game on WBAP. We'd like to remind you to stay tuned to WBAP for the best music around with a lot of people who enjoy what they do. It starts every morning, Monday through Saturday, with Don Harris saying, "Good morning, Bright Eyes," and keeping you informed, entertained, and smiling. WBAP 820. No matter where you are or where you're going, we'd sure like for you to join us on WBAP, doing it all for WBA people.
Hitting number 9, and Len Barker will come on for the Texas Rangers. Steve Comer, in relief of Doc Ellis, went 2 innings today, allowed 4 runs on 3 hits, walked 2, struck out 3, threw 1 wild pitch. In fact, all of the offensive damage by the Astros was done against Comer in the 8th inning. 11-5, Len Barker. He's the man. Billy Hunter said, "We're going with Len Barker." Wouldn't surprise me, said Billy, if he became the fireman of the year in the American League this year. Barker certainly has the tools. Last year, you'll recall, 15 games, a lot of them, in fact 12 of them, in relief in the final month and a half of the season. He finished up with 4 wins, 1 loss, and a 2.66 earned run average. But perhaps more significantly, in those 12 games in relief, he went 32 innings, allowed 19 hits, and his earned run average was 1.15. One night at Arlington Stadium last year, they put the radar gun on Nolan Ryan and clocked him at 97 miles per hour, and Barker was clocked at 96 miles per hour. He can bring it. Big guy, 6 feet 4 inches, 235 pounds. Throws ball 1 to Jimmy Sexton, who's leading off the 9th inning for the Astros. Sexton is 1 for 3 with a walk today, stole a base. Fastball is high, 2-0. Barker had been impressive all spring, and then the last couple of times out, he's been knocked around a little bit. All told, in 9 innings, has allowed 9 hits, has walked 6 strikeouts, 1 win, and a 4.00 earned run average. He's high, 3-0. Sexton is not the biggest target in the world up there. 5'10". Right-handed swinger. Terry Poole and Enos Cabell will follow. I would guess the big question about Barker is the control. He was very sharp in his stint with the Rangers last year. There's a fastball down the middle, 3-1. Ellis the catcher, Jorgensen at first, Alomar at second, Mason at short, Bavacqua at third. The outfield, May Benikas Thompson from left to right. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Where that one missed. Right down the middle, and Ellis and Barker can't believe it. They called it ball 4. So Sexton draws the walk. That one didn't miss by too much. So we go to the top of the batting order, and Terry Poole. Poole, without the benefit of a hit, has scored 3 runs today. 0 for 2. He's walked once, been safe at, 0 for 3. He's walked once, been safe at an error, has been hit by a pitch. Swings, hits a double play, bouncer to short. Mason shovels to Alomar for 1. The return to first is not in time. Well, Poole really got down the line there in a hurry. Looked like a made-to-order double play ball, but it apparently not hit sharply enough for the Rangers to turn it over. Plus, Jimmy Sexton came in hard on Alomar at second base.
So Poole legs it out at first, and he's on the base paths for the 4th time today.
Number 23.
And every other time he's been on there, he's scored. So 1 out, runner at first. Here's Enos Cabell. He's 2 for 5. Has singled each of his last 2 trips to the plate. Fastball swung out and foul tipped into the glove of Ellis. It's 0-1. The Rangers going with a couple of young right-handers in the bullpen as the season begins, Comer and Barker. Jorgensen holds it first. The 1-strike pitch is shot foul down the right field line. 0-2. Cesar Cedeno on deck. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Rangers' last shot would have Ellis, Jorgensen, and Bavacqua due up. Possibly against a new Houston pitcher. 2-strike pitch. Curve, strike 3 call. It was the overhand curveball that time, and that one was a beauty. Came in about neck high and then dipped right over the plate. And Cabell goes out looking. Barker's first strikeout. 2 outs, runner at first, and Cesar Cedeno.
Number 28, the designated hitter, Cesar Cedeno.
Poole over at first. He might be running with 2 outs. He's stolen 3 times this spring. Here's the pitch. Fastball takes off at the plate too high. Ball 1. Hard rising fastball that time. Cedeno today, 1 for 4, but has been on the bases 3 times, has driven home a run and scored a run. His only hit was a double in the first. Barker down at the belt. 1-0 pitch. Fastball knee high for a strike. 1-1. And Cedeno questions the call. We've got a real good view of the pitches here today. We're very low. Maybe 8 feet off the ground. About 8 rows back from the backstop. Barker on top. 1-1 pitch. Look out. That one taking off on the inside. Cedeno bending back out of there. 2 balls and a strike. Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, 3:05. It'll be Ron Guidry of the Yankees, 16-7 last year. John Matlack for the Rangers. World champion Yankees and the Texas Rangers. Poole the lead at first. 2-1 pitch. Fastball popped up right side of the infield. Jorgensen in on the infield grass, reaches out and one-hands it. And a good performance by Barker in the 9th. No runs, no hits, and 1 man is left on. We'll go to the last half of the 9th. Houston leading Texas 11-5.
It's nearly over.
Para Dr. Pepper, aquí está el Chicano.
Todo Dr. Pepper con orgullo. Y antes estuvo solo en el mundo. Pero ahora toda la gente se toma Dr. Pepper más y más. Hay personas que son Pepper, mucha gente ya son Pepper. Dr. Pepper ya es el mejor. Yo soy Pepper y él es Pepper. Y si tomas Dr. Pepper, sí te va a gustar el sabor. Oh, los Peppers son la gente especial. Le gustan el sabor original. Lo que estoy diciendo es la verdad. Dr. Pepper tiene más calidad. Oh, yo soy Pepper y él es Pepper. Y si tomas Dr. Pepper, sí te va a gustar el sabor. Dr. Pepper, toma Dr. Pepper.
In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Astros will bring in their 3rd pitcher of the day, Oscar Zamora. Zamora, 33 years of age, was born in Cuba, now lives in Miami. Was signed as a free agent last November. Zamora's really been around quite a while and had a very good year for the Chicago Cubs back in 1974 out of the bullpen. He was in 56 games for the Cubs that year and a 3.11 earned run average, although his 1-loss record was 3-9. But he fell apart in 1975, went 5-2, but with a 5.07 ERA. Last year started out in Wichita, and his ERA there was 7.36. Last year in Wichita, he was 7-2 with a 4.37 earned run average. And the Cubs released him, and the Astros obtained it. Leading off for Texas, John Ellis, the coach's favorite. Ellis takes a strike. It's 0-1. He's batting for the first time today.
Fastball is hit deep to left field. Going back is Walling. He's at the wall, reaches up, and can't get it. It's off his glove and off the wall. And Ellis steaming into second base with a stand-up double. Well, I assume they'll give him a double. Yes, they do. Ellis hit that one deep. Walling kept going back, and then tried to reach up and backhand it, but it hit off the glove and off the wall, and Ellis has a double. That is the first Rangers hit since Hara got an RBI single in the fourth inning.
Making his first batting appearance.
And the first base runner since the fifth inning. The last 11 Ranger batters in succession had been retired until that double. And here's Mike Jorgensen batting for the first time today. Jorgensen's had a fine spring, hitting .310. Left-handed batter, pitch to him, bouncer to shortstop. Fielded by Sexton, the long throw, just in time. He almost took too long and just got Jorgensen by half a step, said Al Clark. That one hit in front of him, and Ellis had to hang on at second base. So one out, runner still at second, and Kurt Bavacqua will bat. Bavacqua extolled the plight of the utility player. When Hargrove was hit by the ground ball in infield practice earlier today, everything in the field stopped, and everybody ran over to see how he was.
Kurt Bavacqua.
Meanwhile, Bavacqua, standing over near third, turned to Bump Wills and said, if I got hit with a line drive, you think everybody would stop and come running over to take a look at me? Bump Wills turned and says, well, I know I wouldn't. Pitch to him is low, ball one. Well, that's not exactly true, though. Bavacqua, a very valuable member of this club, at .333 last year. 96 at bats. He had 5 home runs for the Rangers, and he can play just about everywhere. 1-0 pitch, slider in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Dave May on deck. Texas got a run in the second. Houston tied it in the third. Texas came back with 2 in the third, 2 more in the fourth, and had a 5-1 lead. But Houston got 3 in the fifth, 3 more in the sixth to lead 7-5, and 4 in the eighth. And that's where we are now, 11-5. Here's a swing, pop up, left field line. Shortstop Sexton straddles the foul line in short left field, then makes the catch. Bavacqua becomes out number 2 in the ninth, and now it's all up to Dave May. May has batted once in the ball game, grounded out to second in the seventh. Davey hitting .231 coming into the ball game.
Number 16, the left fielder, Dave May.
John Ellis, who got a leadoff double, is still at second base. John Lowenstein would be next. Fastball misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 clubs will catch flights out of here later tonight. And will play in San Antonio tomorrow. Joaquin Andujar for the Astros, Doc Medich for the Rangers. There's a curve outside, 2-0. Then on Tuesday, they'll go to the Astrodome. The Rangers will play the University of, Texas? They'll play the University of Houston at 5 o'clock. Here's a check swing, slow roller, left side of the infield. Cabell cuts across, fields it, throws it, not in time. Dave May beats it out. Check swing roller on the left side of the infield. Cabell ranged 40 feet off the third base line, fielded it on the grass, threw across the body to first sidearm, but was not in time to get May. And now the Astros will have to get one more man, and that would be John Lowenstein, as the Rangers have runners at first and third. Now with 7 hits in the ball game. Ellis at third, May is at first, and Lowenstein 1 for 3 with a walk today, but his 1 hit was a home run in the second. Pitch to him, low, ball 1. But on Tuesday at the Astrodome, the Rangers will play the University of Houston, and then after that it will be the Astros and the University of Texas. And on Wednesday, it'll all be over after the Rangers meet Texas at Austin. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Rangers will have Thursday and Friday off, and then the Yankees at Arlington Stadium on Saturday. And we're off and running. The Astros will play Texas A&M on Wednesday, and then Thursday they have to play at Cincinnati. Here's a swing and a hard drive to center, sinking fast, and it's in front of Poole. Base hit. Coming in to score is Ellis. May goes to second base, and the Rangers stay alive here in the ninth inning and make it an 11-6 ball game. Lowenstein's second RBI of the day.
Big John's got 8 RBIs now for the spring. Not too bad. He was hitting .367 coming into the ball game. He's part of the deal for Willie Horton. Hey, he's got good glove in the outfield. He can run. Looks like he can hit a little bit. Here's Bobby Thompson. Check swing foul ball off the bat. 0-1. Thompson flying to left in his only trip to the plate. There's another guy. He can fly, Bobby Thompson. Played a strong, hustling outfield as well. Can cover a lot of ground out there. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. The pitch. Curve. Cut the inside corner. Strike 2. On the Star of the Game show, we'll have a conversation with veteran shortstop Campy Campaneris. Stay tuned for that immediately following the broadcast. May at second. Lowenstein at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. 2-strike pitch. Hit right back through the middle. Goes under the glove of Zamora, and all hands are safe. Thompson hit a roller right back through the middle. It went right under the glove of Zamora. Second baseman Art Howe fielded it near second base, but had no play. Dave May goes to third. Lowenstein goes to second. Thompson at first with the infield single. The 4th hit of the inning for the Rangers. And now Juan Beniquez will stand in. Beniquez 1 for 4 today. Well, don't go anywhere. It's 11-6, and the Rangers are still batting. There's a breaking ball outside. Ball 1. Outfield deep and straight away. 11-6, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the last of the 9th. Now Beniquez says Zamora is taking too much time. Zamora is one of 4 Astro pitchers fighting for the lone pitching spot still remaining in the Astro roster. Now the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, a long drive to deep left field, way back, and it's off the wall. 1 run scores. Lowenstein scores. Here comes Thompson. Here comes the throw. Safe at home. A 3-run double for Juan Beniquez, and it's an 11-9 ball game. And now Sandy Alomar represents the potential tying run of this ball game. Well, we finally had one of those springtime slugfests. Most of the time, all spring, we've had tightly played Major League ball games. 5-3, 3-2 type games, very few errors, good pitching, heads-up play. Haven't had any of those 15-13 ties, but we've got an 11-9 ball game going today. And so the Texas Rangers, who were dormant since the 4th inning, have sprung for 4 here in the 9th, are still alive. And Sandy Alomar, who doesn't hit them often, but if he hits one now, we're all tied up. Jim Mason on deck. Zamora at the belt. Check second. Curve is very high. Ball 1. Juan Beniquez really stroked that one off the left center field wall. And that brought home May, Lowenstein, and Bobby Thompson, who scored all the way from first. Boy, he really got around the bases. 1-0 pitch, fastball. They said it was a strike. Let her high. 1-1. Alomar didn't particularly like the call, neither did the fans here in Tulsa. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs. Beniquez at second. It's 11-9. Houston. Alomar with a base hit, trying to deliver that 10th run. Probably would with a base hit. The stretch, the pitch. High fly ball to shallow right field. Art Howe on the edge of the grass makes the catch, and it's all over. In the 9th inning, for the Rangers, 4 runs, 4 hits,
Los Angeles and Cincinnati.
5 hits, correct that.
The best of luck to the
no errors, 1 man left on. The final score, the Texas Rangers beaten by the Houston Astros 11-9, and I'll be back with the final totals in 60 seconds.